Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rent asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Pixel, and we are Ages of Einor, and welcome to the 17th episode of Ages of Einor Presents the Regent of Bedegar. I don't know why I said it like that. We are back once again with our bevy of Bedegarian adventures, and we are super excited for this penultimate episode of the follow-up campaign to Siege of Castle Rend. Our adventure with these Bedegarian adventurers is beginning to draw to a close. We're super excited. We have some epic warfare in store tonight. I will be your dungeon master this evening, and we are playing through the last little leg here of the Regent of Bedegar, which is found in the D&D 5e supplement Kingdoms in Warfare by MCDM. Both the adventure and the book are a follow-up to their first book, Strongholds and Followers. As always, we're going to get into the game here in just a few minutes, but before we do, we're going to give our usual housekeeping things, but we're 17 episodes in, so I'm going to try to keep it brief. First, map screens. Don't spoil things. You won't come up tonight, but in general, you may see things that are GM stuff. They'll be like semi-grayed out or transparent, whatever. Don't talk about those if you see them, and the people in chat don't. Because our heroes will be in chat with you, communicating and trying to enjoy the episode as you do. So don't spoil stuff if they don't see it. Second, don't forget about rules. There's a lot of them, and let's face it, you guys don't know these rules any better than we do, because these are hugely supplemental rules. But if we get something wrong and you work for MCDM and you pop by here and see how terrible we get this stuff wrong, don't lose your mind about it. We're trying our best, okay? You made a complicated system and we're working it, all right? Third, this is an open and welcoming space. Don't be a wangrod. Keep the internet toxicity stuff to a minimum. Never a problem with you guys, you're awesome. But we do like to make sure that we put that out there just so that anyone in our YouTube comments or anyone hanging out in Twitch who happens by knows that we don't put up with that crap. Also a reminder, we do release the show on YouTube and as a podcast after each episode during the following week. So, if you missed part of the episode, don't forget about it. You can watch it later. It usually goes up on Wednesday or on Sunday afternoon if you are on our Patreon. And last thing before we get started, cast, if you would please go around and introduce yourselves and your characters and remind us whether or not you have chat inspiration before we jump in. So also, I should note for everyone, one last little announcement. Jacob Soren Fairtalon, who is going to be with us, hopefully at some point this evening, had a big test today for his college stuff. So he's not with us at the moment, but he will be joining in. And on this screen, I don't think I have the little inspiration doodads set up because we don't use this screen very often because it's not as like the wrong number of cams on it or whatever. So those should be back when we jump over to our 7-person screen, but in this weird 6-person iteration, we don't have those. So everyone just try to keep in mind who does and doesn't have inspiration. Introducing ourselves, starting with Bonus Bomb.
Hi, I am Bonus Mom, and I am commanding a couple of different units, and they're going to tell me which ones in a little while. I play Perdita, the Tabaxi Rogue. I do not have chat inspiration, and does that mean, DM, that we will be able to use chat inspiration as a part of the battle?
Yes, yeah, you can use chat inspiration for any role that you would like.
But does that not also mean that hit die are irrelevant and nobody should give us any?
Yes, actually, I can turn those off for this if someone reminds me to turn them on later.
Okay. Alrighty, so looking forward to tonight. I'm nervous as a cat. I said the C word. Sorry, Roz.
Okay, excellent. Kyla.
Hey friends, I'm Kyla. Tonight I'll be playing Chanterelle. Normally I guess I play Chanterelle, but I've got other stuff I'm doing today, so that's exciting. And I don't have chat inspo. And it's so good to see everyone from chat and the Discord hanging out with us today. Thanks so much.
Yeah, welcome in, everybody. Beast.
Hi, folks. I'm Beast, and I play Rosiskers, the Orc Valor Bard.
Do you have chat inspiration?
I do not have chat inspiration.
Okay, all right.
And I do now.
Bonus Mom does have chat inspiration. Excellent.
Thank you.
Jesse.
Hey everybody, I'm Jesse. I make stuff on the internet. You can go to see me at You Might Be a D&D. I just put out a new video called You Might Be a Swashbuckler. So if you are a big fan of The Mask of Zorro or The Princess Bride or basically any movie Carrie Elwes has ever been in, you can go watch that and have a lot of fun. It was great to make. Other than that, I am fully inspired up. So save that for somebody else or maybe the final battle because we might use it here. But yeah, always happy to be back and thanks for having me.
Excellent. And Taylor.
Hey friends, I'm Taylor. I play Enna, the Wood Elf Cleric, and I do have chat inspiration.
Excellent. And hey everyone, I am Pixel. I will be your GM this evening, which means I will be the horde of tyrannical legions at your gates. Not really that Gravesford has gates. We'll talk about that here in a minute. I'll be your Dungeon Master this evening. You can also find me here on twitch.tv/HammerandPixel, where I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 nonstop for quite some time. It's a good game. I'm enjoying it a lot. That all having been said, and without further ado, when last we left our heroes... I'm just now realizing, Roz, that I have your wrong... mini on this sheet, but anyway. When last we left our heroes, they returned. I switched it on the 7-part one, but we'll talk about that here in a second. Anyway, when last we left our heroes, they returned victorious from their battle with the Green Dragon Clorindraxurus near the woad of the Orchid Court, cementing their alliance with the elves and gaining the powerful Elven Thorns unit to add to their army, as well as a small hoard of magical items. They returned to Castle Rent to prepare for the upcoming final battle with Saxton and his armies, but were surprised to find their old adventuring companion Soren Fairtalon had returned from the barony of Dalrath with dire news. Soren told his tale of discovering that his own religious order, worshippers of the goddess Solorna, though the dominant faction worships Saint Isolde the Purifier rather than Soren's own Saint Rune the Temperate, had been infiltrated by mind killers who had seemed to have taken hold of His Holiness High Eudex Justice Pontian Victorinus the 13th, Vigilant of Isolde. I'm really proud of that name, by the way. Jacob and I came with that together. We actually wanted to make it longer and couldn't come up with good names for it. But this now mind killer-led faction had transformed the church into an inquisition to purify the heretics in a complicated political maneuver, and in a complicated political maneuver had targeted Soren's resistance faction. In the end, Soren's longtime mentor, the Golden Servant Aoife, Bishop of Dalrath, made a sacrifice play and gave herself up to allow Soren to escape. Soren fled and joined with the Hounds of Dalrath en route to Bedegar to aid our heroes, thanks to Lord Kenway of Dalrath, the Baron there, who they had entreated several weeks back at the very beginning of the campaign to aid them in their battle with Saxton. Soren intended to ask for help from his old adventuring partners, but told them he would aid in their efforts to dislodge Lord Saxton from his usurped throne and restore Edmund Bedegar to his rightful place as Baron, before hoping that he can impose on some of his powerful adventurer friends to help him quell the threat of invading mind killers now spreading into Dalrath, and God's only knows what other horrors creeping in from the world below, thanks to Saxton's dalliance with forces from beyond this plane. They spent some time in making sure to pass out all the magic items, scrolls, and potions they had been accumulating on their journey and not yet using, as they prepared for their final conflict with Saxton and his lieutenants, and began to implement their strategy to trick Saxton into attacking a much more heavily fortified Gravesford by making use of the intelligence they had gathered when in the Star Chamber, revealing Saxton's plans to attack the vulnerable peasants at Gravesford rather than Castle Rend directly. This surprise would be devastating for Saxon's armies, who were expecting to crush the peasants of Graceford with little resistance and take up a fortified position in the town, but would not be prepared for all the might of the court of Rend and her allies to be waiting for them already in the city. If the heroes could keep their plan secret long enough, they could disrupt Saxon's communications, but if he caught on to their plan, he would switch his own to target Castle Rend in the less fortified state and catch our heroes unawares, thus disrupting their own communications as they scramble to adapt to the new attack. In seeking to make sure that no word of their plans was leaked, Roz encountered a spy for Lord Saxton attempting to flee Castle Rend with their battle plans. Roz was able to stop the spy, though at enormous cost to herself. And that is where we resume our tale. We are in the court, we are in the, I believe I described this as in the main hall. Not like where all the tables and where you guys have your meeting, but that area when you initially entered Castle Rend that has, that the orcs had put the big bonfire in, just outside the kitchen. So just outside the kitchen on the way to the main gate of Castle Rend, the newly replaced flagon stone floor is dripping and covered in splashes of blood from two creatures who have bled out here on the floor. The spy, who has been thoroughly ransacked by our heroes who have arrived several minutes after this encounter to find the battle plans they had so carefully been making soaked through with blood in their pouch. The other creature, sitting in a pool of their own blood, but sitting up now, staring in confusion at their own strange hands, is Roz Hiskers, brought back to life by the reincarnate spell after having died in an attempt to stop this spy. Shortly after Roz's proclamation to not waste this additional chance at life, as the rest of our heroes, stood and cast reincarnate above her, Perdita, who had been up in the tower training Edmund, comes down to see the commotion.
What
And
in the world has happened here? Ross? Ross, are you all right?
Rita, my paws. Something's wrong. Poisoned. I've been poisoned.
What are you talking about? What has happened? I have been away. I don't understand. What have you guys pulled on me? What do I see when I look at Roz's paws?
Roz's paws are big. Actually, Beast, why don't you describe them?
Roz's paws are about big enough to grab an entire watermelon each. They are dark green. Their fingernails are long and jagged, but they are not claws. And thick, curly black hairs spring up between the knuckles, and a nice sheen of sweat and grease makes the firelight dance along the emerald skin of Roz, who is now a 7-foot tall orc.
A 7-foot tall orc?
Yep.
Yes.
A 7-foot tall orc. So Roz's clothes are now, they fit Roz as a rather hefty tabaxi, but tabaxi are not all that tall, so they are like stretched to the absolute limit in her new, much larger form.
They were baggy to begin with. They're quite tight now. The seams are beginning to split. and the only piece of clothing that seems to have adapted well are her shoes, very recently given by Count Silas, the boots of speed.
Oh, I don't understand. Why is this like this? What has happened? And Perdita is looking around at all of her cohorts who never mentioned this at all.
I remember toasting cheese, and then I smelled something strange, and then the cook, it was a different cook, and I could tell something was wrong. And I'd smelled that smell before, but worse than one of orange socks. It was poison. They dashed away. I chased them. It was then I had noticed they had taken the plans that we had just made to fortify Gravesford against attack. If that had failed, all was lost. I used the boots to catch up, but I ran into their dagger. And that's all I can remember.
Who did this spell? Who made this happen?
I think it was Soren, wasn't it?
No, Silas kind of looks at Perdita, looks at Roz, and holds out the wilted and slightly burnt petals of the what was it called? The orchid of
The necklace of the orchid.
the necklace of the orchid. Yeah, that Silas sacrificed to bring Roz back.
But the necklace of the orchid casts the reincarnate spell. They were too late for revivify to work, and so reincarnate. You roll on a random table, and that is you are reincarnated. That is the race and species of your new form. And Roz rolled orc, of all things.
So, like we told you, very uneventful session last time.
I'm holding these fingers up. You all pick one, okay? Everybody pick a finger. And which one am I aiming at all of you? I took you at your word, and I didn't listen to the episode. I will never trust you again. So what you are telling me is that it is Roz inside of that orcan body. Roz's memories, all of Roz, except for her external and her physical characteristics.
I smell the same.
Don't try anything with your bottles of piss. You need a bigger bottle, I fear.
We were actually just establishing kind of if she's okay. This all happened within the last few minutes. And Silas is actually just going to kind of like, he's not a doctor. His knowledge is not medical in any way, but he is going to just kind of look over and just try to like guesstimate what an orc physiology should be like. Yeah, just kind of take a look. I don't know if that's a medicine check or if
Yeah,
I'm
I would
just
think
too
medicine
ignorant
check.
to even get that close.
No, I think it's a medicine check because, like, you guys have fought orcs before. You fought beside orcs before. The Unbreakable, I think, were also here for the end of Siege of Castle Rend.
Yep.
So, you know,
That is 14, so not bad.
not terrible. Yeah, I mean, Roz seems perfectly healthy. Roz doesn't have any of the same, like, scars and not that, you know, well, and I think, yeah, you could have seen the scar because, like, Roz had one on her muzzle, right? From Sir Peloton, I believe.
Yeah, Roz was missing an eye and had a scar across her cheek.
You have both your eyes now, and no scar on your cheek. You are fully. I mean, it's straight up as like your spirit has been put into a new body. It just didn't take the same form of your old body. So this is like fresh. You know, you're not a baby orc, but you are just like if you made an orc from scratch at the age that Roz is.
Roz has
relative
been
to orc
uploaded
terms.
to an orc.
Yeah, basically.
Well, Dita's going to walk over to Roz and lean in closely. And then Orkin, she's going to say, "Is it you in there, my cousin?" Does Roz understand?
Roz doesn't speak orc. You can't see the spell on me. Make it stop.
Perdita
Roz
is
lifts up
just-
the eye patch.
Oh, Roz, who is going to tell the Hisker tribe what has happened here? I think it must be me.
Oh. Oh no. Must I forsake the blood of Hercules? Oh.
I don't know. I don't know, Roz. Oh, Roz, I've never seen you like this. Oh, dear. Roz, we've got to hold it together. We are too close to the battle and things are getting ready to happen. We cannot have this. You must be strong. We'll make it right. Somehow. We could tell them you are in disguise. But how are we going to keep the orcs from talking to you? And they'll be very angry if you do not talk back. Mm.
I have to tell the Hiskers. It is still my duty to lead them. They have a right to accept my leadership or reject me.
Well, if we could wait until after the battle, it would be a great benefit.
They must know who their orders come from. They will not accept an orc shouting at them. Silas,
Roz,
I think we must make an announcement publicly.
is it okay if I try a few things?
Anything to help.
So essentially,
Are you
even though I don't have,
Roz?
yeah, I don't have this spell, but essentially, Silas is trying to pump everything he can into what should be alter self, even though he doesn't know how to do that, to try to change Roz's form, but it just comes out as polymorph, and I think Roz just turns into a straight cat. Shit! And turn her back into Roz.
Shanty was definitely still like clinging to Roz, crying at that point. Because she had just like flung her arms around Roz's neck when she had changed. Was so happy that she was still alive. So I think I'm just like clutching this cat that suddenly turns back into an orc.
I think Roz probably at this point is going to pass out.
Silas is going to turn to Perdita and say, "We can fix it. I think it might take a lot of doing, but I think we can turn her back."
Well, I feel like I need to tell the Hisker tribe that this thing has happened, and at least that what has happened up to the whole orc thing, We must begin to prepare them, and we must be ready to go into battle at any moment, right?
You're not wrong. How much time do we have? Like, how many days of
I think it's like the
before
last
battle?
week.
Are we in
Yeah,
the last
I don't
week,
know
month?
exactly how many days it is out from.
Okay, but we'd have like
From
at least
this.
a day.
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to turn to Petita and say, we might want to save this conversation for after the battle. I might have a way for Roz to temporarily look like Roz again. And I'd like to try, and I'll spend whatever money to make a scroll of disguise self that I can give to Roz. So she can at least appear as her former self. That way the Hiskers band doesn't lose any of their morale. I think Silas is very focused on he needs everything in top gear. Everything else can be put away until then. And even if it looks weird of like a sword being way too high coming from Roz's hand, it might just help the Hiskers' morale. Though I don't know, I can't do anything about her voice, right?
No, Roz would have to manage Roz's own voice.
Okay, well.
I have a bit of a cold.
Also, disguise self doesn't alter the actual physical size of Roz, right? So Roz is still like if somebody goes to pat Roz's head or something, which not that why would anyone do that, but they will touch Roz's collarbone now.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll spend a little bit of money to try to get that done if that's possible.
Okay, so what I'm
I
seeing
do have
from
resources if I can help.
what I'm seeing from Xanathar's Guide to Everything, scribing a spell scroll of first level costs 25 gold and takes a single day. So
got it. Done.
You have enough for that. I am so sorry. I apologize, but Pixel, I must step away for a moment.
Okay.
And yeah, when Roz awakes, I'll give it to her.
Okay. Yeah, and so as you guys are making these sort of final preparations for the battle, as things are coming down to the wire, your scouts have been tracking Lord Saxon and his army since it departed Bedegar. It's going to take them several days to reach you. They gathered quite a few cavalry and infantry and conscripted soldiers. Your intelligence says that he has several units conscripted from Territon. And he has also has some familiar gnolls with him who are sort of like giant hyena monsters that you remember fighting with Sir Peloton's forces. He pretends that he is headed toward Castle Wren, but you know that in a few hours he will swing south to take Gravesford. Of course, you know he is in for a surprise as you've already moved your units to Gravesford before him. However, just before the battle begins, as you finish the final preparations, you are stopped by Gear, one of your officers, leading a familiar figure. Father Belderone, actually, from the Church of St. Gaed the Confessor in Gravesford, arrives and says, "Heroes, I come bearing news. I believe that St. Gaed can help us with this battle."
Can I get an insight check?
Yeah, go for it.
And have we assigned people? Have we had that conversation? Did I miss that?
Oh no, we'll need to do that we'll do that after this.
Okay, I got
Insight.
you. You're waiting for Thorin for that.
No, not necessarily. I just need to do this first.
Okay, gotcha.
Also, I haven't missed him trying to get in how I know. Okay. So with the 5, I mean, I don't know, it seems normal. Kind of let you remember him like it, you know.
Yeah. I'll say, in what way? Any help would be appreciated.
Well, so I had a rather curious interaction yesterday. A traveler stopped by the church. I introduced myself, and she asked me several questions about the stained glass window, the 2 marble pillars, and the patterns in the marble in the floor. She left after our conversation, and I have not seen her since. Saint Gaed teaches us to be watchful. Her mannerisms were strange. I did not like her. But I did not recognize her.
Who is in this conversation right now? I'm sorry.
Any
I
of you
missed
who
that.
want to be?
Did you look at the stained glass window and into the floor? Did you check it for yourself?
Well, yes.
Did it look as if
of
anyone
course.
had touched it?
No, I found your questions curious. So I sketched the shape of the floor patterns and began looking through the old religious texts in the office. Viewed from above, it seems they are a symbol of magical power, one overlapping another. The pillars bear inscriptions, the pillars in the church. The warding pillars depicts angels and devils at war, but the second depicts knights bearing swords receiving a blessing. I think this is more than just art. The church is
Would
much
you take
older.
us to investigate?
Do what?
Silas asks, would you take us to investigate?
Well, if you let me finish, I think I already have the answers for you. Investigation complete. Father Belderone to the rescue.
Please share your information. We are eager to hear.
Well, the church is old, much older than I am, built shortly after St. Gaed's death. In life, he was said to have liked this town. I believe his priests, or maybe even the saint himself, left us a gift for a time when we were in great need. Perhaps a way to receive divine grace through him. The symbols on the floor can be activated. One seems to be a ward for the town against evil creatures. The other empowers those in the church in some way. But it takes more than one person to activate them.
How many does it take?
That's a great question. I think it's just 2. But let me actually
It
look.
takes more than 1, but less than 3.
Well, if it takes 6, that's going to be extremely curious.
Okay.
2 of them have to be left-handed.
The gods were really on the money this time, guys.
So, it requires 1 person for each of the 2 symbols on the pillars. The pillar on the eastern side is depicts knights bringing their blades together to receive divine power. I believe you can receive a blessing from this pillar by sacrificing a few drops of blood while offering a prayer to Saint Gaed. I believe it will bless all of our heroes. On the western side, it depicts angels and devils at war. You must, while next to the pillar, extinguish a flame while offering a prayer. This will protect, I think, against intrusion or command by infernal or extraplanar forces. I believe this could...
My Lord Rand, do you think we should make this church our headquarters for where we should be during the battle? Does that seem reasonable?
I think Oren is gonna speak up. He was picking a toenail in the corner with a spoon. Well, now I see it. Hey, yeah, if we get a building there in the church and a nice stone building can't be smoked out, I'd say that's as good a place as any for fine folks to hold out, especially against any big nasties out there. And we're gonna need a place where we can all fall back if the going gets too tough out in the streets.
It's a good enough plan. And at the very least, if our forces start to fall, they won't fall back to Castle Rend where the civilians are. I think it's fine. I think the decision is whether to use a shield or a sword.
What do you mean? I think you can do both.
We can.
We must.
It sounds like what? It takes two people to activate each
Yes,
spoon?
I think the pillars offer different benefits. They provide different blessings. I'll just tell you. Enough with the sort of halfway stuff. Yes, one of them will confer the effect of the bless spell on all of the heroes. The other gives all heroes it prevents you from being charmed.
Oh, that's
so any kind of charm effect, whether that's command or charm person, or even like dominate, any of those kinds of things.
And we can do both of those?
Yeah.
Cool.
Do we as individual characters have to choose which bonus we want?
No.
Oh, okay.
So all 6 of us get both of those bonuses.
Yeah. So I'll tell you. So I will tell you how this is going to be influenced, because we're kind of coming up on the thing here. Although we do have to still decide who gets what. But I'll just be clear with what the mechanics are. So basically, the skinny on this is that Lord Saxton also knows about this. The person who Father Belderone spoke with that cued him in to look into this was probably a spy. So instead of at Castle Gravesford, where you're probably going to have your final fight with Saxton is going to be in the Church of St. Gaia the Confessor.
That's what makes obvious sense.
Who gets there first is going to be determined by who brings the siege. So you guys are not surprised by Saxton's attack on Gravesford. If you win bringing the siege against Saxton, if you basically take the initiative in the warfare encounter, then you will be able to start the encounter in the Church of the Confessor with both symbols blessed and active. If you lose, you will not reach the church before Saxton and his lieutenants. They'll get the drop on you there, but they have not yet done whatever it is they intend to do with those symbols. So those are sort of the stakes for you guys at this point.
So
if you didn't get the information about the attack on Gravesford, then you have other possible options. So
you guys want to throw the fight and play this hard mode, Nuzlocke style? Or
so it's going to depend on a dice roll, is what you're telling us.
Right. Yeah. So, and the thing is, once you start the fight, you can still bless the pillars. It just takes actions to do it. You don't start the fight with it active. If he beats you to the punch. If he beat you to the punch and you didn't know about the attack on Gravesford, then he would start the fight with them active. instead.
Rude.
But
With
he did something
his own
that
defilement stuff. So.
is it something that both of sides could get?
No.
It's, it's
Once it's
spent,
blessed
it's
or
spent.
defiled, you could remove the buff by destroying the pillars, or they could, or something, or like maybe dispel magic or something. But you can't. You both couldn't do it at the same time.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So okay, well we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jacob says he's finishing up. Should be about 5 minutes out.
Okay. Very good.
Okay. Jacob knows his unit assignments. Do we want to go over that in the meantime?
Yeah. Let's talk about unit assignments.
Great.
I'm gonna drag you all guys down to the units.
I got my list up.
Bloop. Hopefully, we'll pop over to the map here.
Yeah, so there are 3 things that I wanted to go over, if that's okay with you, Pixel.
Yeah,
I
go
wanted
for
to
it.
do unit assignments. I wanted to review everyone's martial advantages and remind you when and how to use it. And then I wanted to talk about the crit rules, our warfare homebrew crit rules. And just a reminder about a couple of maneuvers that most of us will be able to do.
Okay.
So, unit assignments. Silas, you will be commanding the crew, Orange Rangers, and the Elven Thorns.
Okay, hang on real quick. I'm actually going to put these... I'm going to, assign these to everybody so you can control your guys. Okay, so you had the crew, Orange Rangers.
And the Elven Thorns.
Okay.
And Silas,
Elven
your
Thorns.
martial advantage as a wizard is the Dancing Lights. Anytime an artillery unit makes a successful attack against an enemy, that enemy is lit up, and every other unit besides that artillery unit that attacks it before its turn gets advantage.
Yeah. And you guys just see Silas furiously enchanting arrow after arrow on these archers. That way when they hit, they just explode in people's faces. Yeah, but anyway.
Okay.
Magical fireworks.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
pretty
I've got
much,
Silas's folks all there on the left.
A modified version of just prestidigitation.
So for Roz will be commanding the Hiskers Band and Solomon's Soldiers.
Okay.
And Roz's, I'll just say it out loud. Roz's martial advantage, Song of Battles 1, means that any units Roz is commanding that have less casualties, that are more beat up than something they're fighting, have or grant disadvantage to any attacks against them. So they're just harder to hit if they're weaker. They're scrappy. For Perdita will command the Unbreakable, our Orc infantry allies, and the Old Guard, the cavalry loyal to the Bedegar family, that united under her command in the region of Bedegar. And Perdita, you have the Skirmishers ability, which means that your Unbreakable unit, if you move them once before you attack, they get +2 to their next attack. Okay. Shanty. Shanty will be commanding a unit of the Gravesford Levies, which are wearing heavy armor. And the Swamp Mother.
Perfect.
Let's see. Shanty, you have Nature's Bond as your commander's martial advantage, which means your Swamp Mother and your Gravesford Levies both start the fight with +2 casualties.
Cool.
Meaning the Swamp Mother has a beefy 10 casualties.
Jeez.
Heck yeah.
So just to be clear, that means she has to get hit 10 times?
It's actually way more complicated than that, because the Swamp Mother has special abilities that make it resistant to a lot of types of damage, which we'll go over after this.
Fair, but yeah, that's some
But
crazy resistance.
The Swamp Mother is
tanky as fuck.
practically immortal. So Enna will be commanding a unit of the Gravesford levies and heavy armor.
Oh, no, we're cool. Sorry. I thought I closed something I didn't mean to close, but we're fine. Everything's okay. I just closed
as well
Roll20.
as the Blue Dragonflight summoned by the armor of Saint Gaed the Confessor, which she wears.
Okay, so that's levies and Blue Dragonflight.
Yes, and Enna, you have a spicy little Sailor Moon wand that you can give to either of your units, and they can use it to moon healing escalation anyone for 1d4 casualties.
Right on.
Okay. And then Soren, who will be joining us at any moment now, will be commanding the Hounds of Dalrath and the Lancers, both cavalry units.
Okay, let me make sure I've got everyone. I don't have everyone in the right place. Hang on, everybody. I have to fix some faces because we didn't have anybody
What did I
here.
say?
Okay.
Howdy.
All right. Oh, I just need to move you here. Does that fix it?
I will repeat the very last thing that I said, which is Soren will be commanding the Hounds of Dalrath and the Lancers.
Sorry,
and
everybody,
Soren, your martial advantage is righteous. If any unit you control succeeds a morale test of any kind, not just to be diminished, you can use that unit's reaction, if it has one, to grant it advantage on its next attack roll. And any unit which you diminish with one of your units has disadvantage on a morale test to avoid taking casualties when diminished.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay, sorry. So Gravesford levies, Blue Dragonflight are both Enna, controlled by Taylor.
And then the last two
Lancers
go
and
to
Hounds.
Soren.
Go to Soren.
Yes, Lancers and Hounds. Now, I want to remind everyone of our homebrew crit rules. Also, before I even do that, another reminder, whenever you roll a d20, roll 2 d20s. Always roll 2 of them. It'll save us a ton of clicks and time. So, crits. If you roll a 20 on your attack roll, on your attack test, it will grant you advantage on your power test. So you'll roll 2 more d20s and you'll take the higher one. If you get a 20, a nat 20 on your power test after you succeed an attack roll, you will deal double damage with that power test. Whatever damage you dish out, double it.
Awesome.
That rule also applies to the enemy. They will be dealing big, meaty crits to us, so we have to do the same to them first. And the final 2 things that I want to point out are the most common maneuvers that we're going to be invoking. The rally maneuver, when a unit breaks, which is when it gets to 0, it's going to run off the battlefield. The next turn, you get a chance to rally your unit and bring it back into the fight. It's a DC 13 morale test. You roll 2 d20s, and if they come back with 1 hit point. Crit rule, if you roll a 20 on that morale test, they will come back with 2 casualties. And the set for charge, depending on how much cavalry or aerial units, or I think those are the only 2 that we are up against. If they attack an infantry unit or just an infantry, if they attack one of our infantry units and it takes damage, you can set for charge with that unit to potentially hit them back for a little bit of damage. That will come in use if we're getting overwhelmed. So, and I will remind everyone of these things during the combat. So that is where I will end all of that.
Could we also be reminded, is there anyone who does not have inspiration?
Yes, I can do the things now. Also, the hit dice don't.
Yes, Roz does not have inspiration.
Shanty does not.
Okay, Shanty and Roz do not. Okay.
Jake, Beast, 1 second. I'm almost a Jacob.
Was
Beast,
Yo,
the follow-up maneuver is
Yes.
when you get rid of a unit and then take their space, correct?
two ways it can happen that you can
Okay.
use a follow up. The first is if a unit opposed to you voluntarily tries to move away, you can, as a reaction, invoke the follow up to take their place.
Got it.
Or if a unit breaks, the same thing. If you break a unit, bringing it to 0, and it runs off the field, you can follow up into its place.
And a follow-up is a reaction.
Is a reaction is a DC 8 command test.
Got it. Okay.
I have so many windows open, you guys. So if you have questions, ask me, because I probably have it somewhere. And I swear I can get to it in less than 2 clicks.
Okay.
That's great. Thank
Great.
you.
Also,
I
if you
promise
guys
I'll have a million.
notice any like major errors I made on anybody's tokens or cards, let me know. I should have stuff to where I can quickly on the fly fix that pulled up, but
Yeah, the Hisker's
Shanty
band
has
should have.
inspiration now.
Yes. Thank you, Bonus Mom. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Hisker's band should have an attack of +20 and about 38 casualties.
okay.
So-
The Hisker's band dies of dysentery,
Okay, that's
um,
fair.
and they are.
Oh,
You mean they all turned green and their paws got big?
Who knew it was contagious, right?
Yeah. Also, just to
Thor,
make
they
it clear
played
for
a
bonus
trick
mom,
on
I want to
me.
make it clear how what happened last time happened too. You can go watch the episode now. But basically, what happened is they were trying to press every advantage they could on the roll to make sure that you guys beat Saxon to the punch, because the beating like that kind of espionage command test, whatever, was extremely critical. You know, because the penalty for failing it was extremely dire. So,
Sure was.
they wanted to get like double advantage on it, and so I told Roz that you could have double advantage on it, but Roz had to roll a single death save, and if she failed, she died. And they
Roz
took
has
that
4
deal.
lives left.
They
so-
took that deal, and Roz failed it and died. But also, you guys made the roll, so you know that was
Yeah, you're welcome.
how that happened. And so what we did in fiction was have Roz be killed by the spy. Okay, cool. All right, great. So,
Not the first time Roz has died this campaign, but I hope it was the last.
who?
So does Roz still
knows?
think she has multiple lives now, or is
No.
she still confused about it?
No,
I just want to point out she technically does, and close to the same amount that she would have had in her head before. And I thought that was fun.
that's actually true. As an orc, Roz has relentless endurance, so technically,
She sure does. I
Yeah.
thought about that, and I was
Actually,
like,
for the
oh.
first time, Roz might have multiple.
I
What-
thought
Okay.
about that, and I was like, Pixel's going to be so bad, but he realizes what he did.
But does Roz keeps all of her skills, abilities, all that is the same? Or does it have to be
yes.
redone
So, yeah,
for orc?
Roz, I had to completely remove all Tabaxi ancestral vestiges from Roz's character sheet.
Yeah.
Roz no longer has cat claws, the ability to climb, feline agility. Roz's stats have completely been changed around. Roz's charisma has fallen, if you can imagine.
Yeah.
Big changes.
So, alrighty, folks. Well,
I can't leave you all alone. Not for 1 week can I leave you alone. I'm so furious.
so, I believe the time has come. So, after your discussion with Father Belderone and your plan to keep your troops in Gravesford and yourselves in the church, performing the ritual to bless the pillars and receive those blessings in return, the hour is at hand. In the distance, marching down from the road from Bedegar, you begin to see the waving pennons and flags. You see the cavalry and the knights, the archers, all moving into formation, beginning to set up for their attack here on Gravesford. So we begin with bringing the siege. That is the first roll that must happen.
It's already been berotten.
Oh. So, this is going to be an operations test made by each side. Oh. Where's my turn order back? So I will roll for Saxton. You guys can choose who will roll for you. We make opposed operations test. Whoever wins the opposed operations test will successfully bring the siege on the other party.
All right, we have +2 to operations. Who's rolling?
Saxton has a +4.
I feel like it should be the Lord of Castle Rand.
I was afraid you would say that.
Agreed.
Okay.
So,
Here goes.
is this a thing where I need to roll 2d20s?
No, not this one.
Just one.
All right, so I will roll first. 1d20 +4. Saxton has rolled a 16.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. I am going to burn DM inspiration to get advantage on this, if that's okay.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. If it's anything like my Baldur's Gate rolls, we are screwed.
No, wait, you don't add them.
Oh!
So, no.
Oh, no, it's only a 15.
It's
Yeah.
only a 15.
It's only a 15. So, Saxton wins,
Okay.
bringing the siege, and seizes the initiative. So, all units in his vanguard will get a free activation at the start of the battle.
Yikes.
Okay. So now we have to deploy. So then I think we need to have everybody roll initiative, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, roll your characters in the
Yeah, roll your character's initiative.
Did we click on anything on the screen? To
No,
make sure
you don't
that
need
it's
to.
right font?
No, I'll just put you guys in where you go. Okay.
Hey, an 18's not bad.
I hope
Did
these are
mine
all
roll
set up
cold?
properly.
Okay, there we go. All right, Perdita rolled a 16.
Are these
Shanty rolled a 20.
okay? Don't tell me because I got to roll for his people.
Oh, sorry.
4, 2, 9, 6.
3/4 of pie.
Also, welcome in,
Yeah.
Jacob.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, Jacob.
Hi,
How's your
everybody.
exam
How'd
go?
it go?
Jacob.
I feel pretty good about it, honestly. I'm sorry it went on
Yes.
longer than expected.
Oh, no
What kind of
worries.
test was it?
It
Oh.
took. It was like college trigonometry. So.
Oh, okay,
it's-
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
The hard part is it was a summer class instead of a regular like in class, and I'm terrible at online learning. So
Oh,
I've been
I'm sorry.
spending the last like 2 days torturing myself by studying. But I feel like I did pretty good. I feel
Okay.
I feel
Good,
solid
good,
about it.
good.
Perdita,
Yes,
what's your initiative roll?
I don't remember. 14, did I say?
16.
16.
That's 16.
Okay,
I'm
Silas.
sorry.
Silas got an 18.
18. Roz.
22.
Enna.
Boost of speed.
Enna. 12. Shanty.
20.
Soren.
10.
10. Okay. Okay. Also, I need to do a little work on my end. Let's see.
Were the Hounds of Dalrath like actual dogs, or were they horses, and that's just their name?
Oh, they're human
Yeah.
horse cavalry.
They're
Okay.
giant dogs, and
Yeah.
they all just run
Trying
around.
to
Honestly-
ride horses with no saddles.
They can be
And the
whatever
horses
we
get
want.
irritated when they claw in.
I was imagining Soren just trying to be like, okay, now and trying to get on like a giant wolf.
That would be dope.
Yeah,
It's just full of dire wolves.
yeah.
As long as we don't get Thorin to fly.
Oren hates wolves, so don't tell him.
Okay. My brain is a little bit frazzled right now. I'm still kind of coming down. So what ability I have a special
Righteous.
ability for Templar. Yeah, okay, it's righteous. Cool.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if it was that or Templar's Rally. I know that you said one of them, but my brain is still kind of.
It honestly, if you want to switch to Templar's Rally, that's fine. I
think righteous is way more useful. I don't think Templar's Rally would be super useful for cavalry.
fair enough.
I don't know.
I have everyone's martial advantages written down, so if you can't remember, just ask.
Okay.
I want
And-
paper.
Sounds solid.
Beast, I just want to clarify.
Yes.
So the Swamp Mother.
Yeah.
So the traits for the Swamp Mother, because she also has Nature's Bond, but that's separate from the
yes.
Shanty's Nature's Bond.
Shanty's
Okay, cool.
Nature's Bond actually empowers the Swamp Mother, and Swamp Mother's Nature's Bond gives us the ability to negate casualties to any of our allies,
Okay.
which it doesn't have to be a unit you are commanding.
Mhm.
It can be any one of our units.
Cool.
If any one of
Okay.
our units it takes casualties and you want to avoid that, we can transfer the damage to the Swamp Mother instead. So that everyone should be aware of that. If you have a unit that for whatever reason you just don't want it to take damage, look at the Swamp Mother, ask Shanty if it's okay, and we can put the damage on the Swamp Mother instead.
Cool. And then, sorry, I shouldn't be wasting
Yeah.
time doing
No,
this.
no,
but I
no.
think
We
while
should
we're
talk
getting
about
stuff-
this. Swamp Mother's a complicated unit.
Okay. Well, then I just want to double check. So for meld, essentially, I just need to be near an opposing army, and then they basically just have to focus on attacking the Swamp Mother and can't attack anyone else.
So what
Is that-
happens when you, if the Swamp Mother makes a successful attack, you can choose just automatically for the Swamp Mother to essentially engulf that unit. So
Sweet.
when you are in adjacent spaces, the Swamp
Mhm.
Mother will now occupy the same space. That does a couple of things. It makes any time a unit is attacking that space, whether they're trying to attack the Swamp Mother or the other unit, allied or opposed, there's a 50-50 shot, a coin flip, that they hit the one they weren't aiming for.
Cool.
And also, damage resistant means that the Swamp Mother will never take damage from successful attack tests, only power tests.
Cool.
Oh, snap.
I love that.
Yes, which means that it can take a lot of hits and still have casualties left over to absorb damage from any of our units if we need it.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, so we know who's bringing the siege, and then I believe what we do now is in reverse initiative order. We each group places one unit at a time until everyone's placed their units. Yes.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So, starting with underling 3 on my side. They are going to place a unit of infantry here. Okay, I'm sorry. That was underling. Oh no, underling 1 was first. Their initiative was 3, but underling 1 is the okay. Okay, these guys. Bam.
Okay.
Okay. Underling 3. Bam.
So just looking at what we're up against.
Wait. No, hang on. I'm screwing this up. Gotta put these guys back. Sorry. Okay, underling 1 is their archers. God, I'm a moron. Okay.
It's a lot to remember, folks.
Yeah. Underling
Well, and
3
Pixel has a huge job here.
Yeah.
is infantry.
We can really help him by just
Here.
by decimating his side of the
Saxton.
grid.
Yeah. Honestly, the best thing
Here.
that we can do is
Okay.
murder all of his things so he has less stuff
Yeah.
to manage.
It's an
I would
act of
appreciate that,
kindness.
honestly. Soren. Soren, you don't have anything to place because you have cavalry. levies. Anna,
I'm
you
throwing
get to go
horses off the
first.
side of the castle.
So Anna, you need to
Okay.
pick one of your units to place between the blue dragonflight and the levies.
All right, I'm gonna do the dragonfly. I'm gonna do right here.
Nice.
Okay, Perdita, you are next.
All right. Well, I think I will just see what happens. So I will place my cavalry to the side, the old guard for the first.
Oh, you don't
turn.
place cavalry.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So.
Oh,
So the unbreakable.
but you have to place the unbreakable. Then.
Oh, I have to. Then I
Yeah.
have to do the unbreakable.
Yeah,
Mhm.
All right. Well, we have to have somebody in every row, don't we?
eventually, yes.
We have plenty of units to play, so don't worry too much about that.
Well, the cavalry can't be on the beginning row. Okay. I think I will place the unbreakable. Oh, there. I'm gonna place them on the front row. Yes. Is that a stupid move?
I mean,
Oh,
they're called
I'll
the
put the-
unbreakable. Let's hope it's for a reason.
I'll put them right there in front of those other three guys.
Front
Okay,
and center.
no.
Love it.
They're not getting through me.
Silas.
Silas. So, if any of the rows are empty for us, we immediately lose that row.
Correct.
Correct. It collapses.
Also, I
However,
believe your archers can...
artillery
Yeah.
must be placed in the third orange row, which is
Oh.
the
Hang on. I'm
was
a
it the
dummy.
center?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
gotta find one of these that has all of those, and apparently I forgot
They
to
can
put
be
the names
placed
in there.
anywhere in the left to right, but they have
Yeah.
to be placed the third from the back.
Got it. I'm actually just going to stack them right up next to each other like
Okay.
this
All right, hang on.
and push the crew next to the Unbreakables.
Oh, sorry, just one at a time, Silas.
Apologies. My
Yeah,
bad.
we're gonna do it in rounds.
Yep, makes sense. Sorry. I'm going to put the Elven Thorns right there.
Beautiful.
Okay, hang on, everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Soren, I want to tell you about your units. You have the Lancers and the Hounds of Dalrath. You should, if you can, look at the Lancers unit card.
Follow the standard.
Follow
Sorry.
the standard, and the maneuver Lancers flank them are very important.
Mhm.
Lancers flank them, the maneuver, you can use as a reaction anytime our allied infantry or artillery, anyone on foot, gets attacked by another cavalry or aerial unit, which they don't have any aerial units, so cavalry.
Only when they inflict casualties, though, right? If they don't
Correct.
hit, then it's a no-go. Okay.
If they don't hit, you don't have to use it. But if they do get hit, first of all, that unit can set for charge. And then second of all, you can follow up with an attack. And if you succeed on the power test with that follow-up attack, you
Hit 'em
can
with a follow
call
the standard.
in the Hounds of Dalrath additionally to make an attack.
Hell yeah.
So does all the cavalry do that? Because of course the old guard has that too, that evasive maneuver.
So the old guard evasive maneuvers is a little bit different.
Oh,
That-
okay.
What that'll do is if Saxton's bowmen are shooting at the old guard can use a reaction to force them to roll a second time and take the lower roll, potentially missing.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Shanty.
Okay. Sorry, I was reading. I'm gonna go ahead and place the Swamp Mother. Think right there.
Okay.
So
Roz.
Hisker's band is gonna go over here.
Okay. Underling 1 is gonna go here. Underling 3 gonna go here. Saxton is gonna go here. Soren.
Soren doesn't have any.
I ain't
Underling 4.
going
You're right.
nowhere.
Sorry.
Enna, the blue dragon flight has an ability called Lightning Breath.
Okay.
So whenever you want, and you're activating that unit, you can tell them to breathe lightning onto someone who's in the next space over. And if they fail a power test, they'll take 2 casualties. And then at the top of every turn after that, roll a d6. On a 5 or a 6, you get to do it again.
Oh, okay. Right on.
And also, it is your turn to place another unit.
Okay, thanks. These guys are gonna go right here.
Okay. Perdita.
Well, my other unit is cavalry.
Right. Silas. Sorry, I'm just going to call names. You guys got to... I can't keep track of who's got what
Sure,
over
you're
there.
doing great.
No, I'm not. I'm a failure.
Oh, looks like Jesse
we
might have stepped
sincerely
away.
hope so,
Okay,
but we
we'll
don't
skip
know that
Silas
yet.
for now. Cavalry doesn't get posted. Shanty.
Okie dokie. I'm going to go ahead and move my other levies. Let's see here.
Okay.
Boop.
Roz.
I'm going to place Solomon soldiers in the rear guard.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Eh.
Let's see. Underling 1 is Bowman. They have to go in the center. Underling 3 has placed all their units. Saxton. These guys are cavalry. Soren.
I got nothing.
Right. Underling 4. Place those. Anna.
I'm good. I already placed mine.
Perdita.
I don't have
I
anything
think
else.
it's just Silas left.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'm going to put Orange Rangers right there.
Okay. They are going to put Territon levies.
Go ahead and place the rest of
And then
your
Silas, go ahead
units.
and place your
Yeah.
last one. And
There
then
we
we'll
go.
just
Perfect,
stack you
beautiful.
guys like that. Okay. Actually, I think we have room to like spread them out a little more for ease of
okay,
sight.
so
Okay. All right. So we have placed all the units. Now, you guys won that incredibly important roll. So what that meant last time, where you basically have really badly put these people out of position. So this is the formation that they want to be in, but because you have eradicated their
Yes.
communications defense because you're you sort of kept a secret that you were planning to, drop yourselves in here and be at Gravesford, and they didn't think you knew about that. They have fully broken communications. So they have 3 debuffs that are going to happen to them. You guys, I guess we'll have you do this all together.
sure.
At the end of this deployment, which is now, you guys get to choose one of their units in any rank on the battlefield and move it into an adjacent space
Yes.
of your choice. So rank
Nice.
is, you basically rank being ranks
that
are left
just-
and right,
yeah.
files are up and down.
They just specify that to mean that you can't screw with cavalry, more or less.
Right.
Mm.
Because they're
Um,
not on the battlefield.
So this is a good opportunity for us to find a unit that might not be exposed to cavalry that we want to expose to cavalry by dragging them to the edges of the formation.
That's what I was thinking. So the bowmen that are just sitting here, do you want to push them back a space? That way we can hit them really hard.
I think that's a great idea.
Love that.
Yeah, let's do that. Saxon's
Okay.
bowmen move back 1 into the rear.
Boom. Like so.
Great
Okay.
eye, Jesse.
Now, that was their -1 compromise debuff. Their -2 garbled communications debuff. At the end of the next deployment, the opposed domain chooses one of this domain's cavalry unit, which is removed from the battle and does not deploy until the end of the first round. So first of all, before we forget, I'm going to make an end of round thing in the initiative at initiative count 0, and that will be our trigger to remind me. And actually, we're going to have this count how many rounds we've had.
So they have 3 units of cavalry. 2 seem to be identical standard Saxon's cavalry. And then they have something called Knoll Bloodfangs. I gotta tell you, not thrilled about those guys.
Yeah, I say we take those blood things out.
Yeah, and what you see,
Absolutely,
you see gnolls who are like 7-foot tall hyena monster men riding giant hyenas. So they're riding like hyenas
sir.
that are the size of like grizzly bears.
So I have a bunch of guys
No,
with
thank
me that
you.
are calling themselves hounds, and then they have actual hounds.
They have hyenas. Okay, so the Knoll Bloodfangs you are choosing to not show until the end of the first round of combat. So what do I put on them? To remind me
Snail.
that they're not here. Snail works. Thank you. Bloop.
And then
Okay.
next, because they're broken, we choose 2 infantry to delay by 1 turn.
Yes. So,
I'll be right back.
at the end of the next deployment, you choose 2 of their infantry units that are removed from the battle and do not deploy until the end of the first round. Also, when they deploy at the end of the first round, I believe they have to deploy in the rear guard.
Yes, that's true.
So,
Reinforcements always appear in the rear.
yeah. So you get to pick any 2 infantry units and basically pull them off the board and only drop them in the rear guard at the end of the first round.
Damn.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
It was a really
Okay.
important. Roz died for this, and it was worth
Yeah.
it.
I'm glad. Okay.
Because the other thing is, this would have happened to you guys if you'd failed that roll.
Yeah.
So,
So all of their infantry is deployed in the vanguard and the reserve,
Mm-hmm.
the first 2 ranks.
I mean, the levies
except for
count too,
a couple
for
of
this.
levies in the rear, which, if we removed both of those levies, not only their entire rear, but also the rest of their artillery would be exposed to cavalry. Or we could do something really nutty by like carving where the Crimson Guard are. If we took the Crimson Guard and the Territon levies out and made just a big old pocket to rush into, alternatively, we could just say the Knoll Blood Swallows and the Crimson Guard, the 2 scariest ones, we could delay.
So my crew have a really interesting ability where if I get in the middle of the mix, I actually can mess
so
with everybody.
chaos.
Yeah.
You want to read
so
that?
chaos and disruptive.
Oh yeah.
So it's better for them to get into it. So if we got rid of those Knoll Blood Swallows, if I get to go first before the infantry can get down there, I can jump in there and essentially just mess with all 3 of those units at a time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but the idea of taking the 2 Territon levies out at the back and just hammering their bowmen is great too, because we could just go ahead and collapse a row. So I'm kind of up for either.
Well, and because the Unbreakable is in front of those 2 things, I am in your way.
No, I'm
to
sorry.
get in the middle.
We'd get rid of this one.
Oh, all right.
yeah, and then he could rush up and be kind of in the mix.
Yeah, but
Well,
either-
we have 3 cavalry units. It would give them something very good to do if they took out the levies, right?
yeah.
Well, so we already have 1 bowman that's exposed. If one of our cavalry commanders goes before that bowman's commander, we could knock it out without having to remove any of those rear guard levies.
Well, do they get a free activation because they brought the siege?
The Vanguard gets a
the
free activation. So
Vanguard
the Blood
does.
Swallows,
Okay.
levies,
Mhm.
and those 2 levies and the Blood Guard will
So
Blood
only
Swallows will
these
get a
3.
Okay.
So,
So if we got rid of
they wouldn't activate. They wouldn't get a
Yeah.
free attack.
wow, okay, that's
Ooh.
actually really smart. So if we got rid of the ones, if we got rid
Okay,
of the
so you
Knoll-
want to get rid of the Blood Swallows.
and then these
Yeah.
guys over here, if possible, I could immediately jump in, and then I can mess up everything in this area if that sounds cool.
I think Actually, we should expose the Crimson Guard. I think we should remove these guys.
Okay.
I like
Because
that.
that unit is a tier 3 unit, and if we can knock it out a turn earlier than we were going to, or 2 turns earlier, it takes their army chunked way down. We might win a turn earlier.
Let's do it. Okay, that's cool.
And we have the crew in the Unbreakable and the Swamp Mother front and center. There's no way they're getting through.
Okay.
No, I was
Good God.
gonna attempt to engage them immediately.
Okay, so
Oh man.
and let's look at before we finalize this. Let's look at exposed and what that
Yes.
means, right? A unit that is vulnerable because it's not properly protected. Where is exposed? A unit is exposed if there are no units between it and the edge of the battlefield, leaving it open to attacks by cavalry unit. By definition, all units in the rear are always exposed. Units in the leftmost and rightmost columns of the battlefield are exposed.
Units in the center are only exposed if there are no units in the rear.
Okay.
Or
Units in the
if there
center
are no
and reserve of an army's
infantry in
ranks
the rear.
cannot be exposed as long as that army has enemies in both its rear and anywhere in its front. As soon as either of those conditions is no longer true, the units in the center or reserve become exposed. So I don't think the Crimson Guard is currently exposed.
No, it is not. These are the only exposed units as of current.
And then everything in the
Um,
rear.
Oh, sorry, not that one. Just these guys. Yeah.
Yeah. And units in
it-
the center and reserve can't be exposed as long as the army has units exposed. So I don't think this guy is even exposed because he's in the reserve.
Actually,
and they
yeah,
have-
you're right. So it's
just the
this
bowmen
guy
and the one levies and all those guys.
and
in
then
the back.
these guys.
But
back
that'll
here.
change as soon as this guy's wiped off the board. All of these middle guys become exposed immediately. So that kind of makes
Okay,
sense.
but for us, it would be the Hiskers, the Graysford levies, and Solomon soldiers.
Yes, correct.
Mm.
Yes,
So it's 3 and 3, actually.
right.
But our 3 aren't as squishy as theirs.
Yeah, I mean your levies don't have a ton of defense, but they got +8 and a crazy toughness. Ugh.
But
Whew.
before we start, I hate to ask to do this, but could we take a really quick, like
We
even
should.
3-minute break?
Sure, yeah,
that
we
we
can.
Yeah,
don't
before
need
we
it
get into
during the
it.
Okay,
battle?
folks. So, as the different sides stand here, one on the hill just outside of town, the other hiding carefully in all the back alleys of Gravesford. The horns begin to blare, the pennons begin to snap, the standards being rushed forth in the arms of the infantry. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the beginning of the actual fight in just a couple minutes.
All right.
Hello.
right, good luck, everyone.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going to go ahead and get started here. So, as Saxton has brought the siege, your men and women in uniform here, your soldiers have entrenched themselves into Gravesford, and Saxton's group begin charging. However, their formation is badly thrown out of whack because they were expecting one type of fight, which was to roll in here over these peasants with very little resistance, and what is waiting for them instead are hardened veteran units from all of your allies and yourselves. And so the only group who gets to activate in the first round of combat is this group of Territon levies. So they are going to attack against the Swamp Mother. First attack of the battle against the Swamp Mother. Actually, is that what they want to do?
I gotta tell you, if I had been press ganged into fighting the next
Yeah.
town over, who were probably my cousins, and the first thing I saw was a giant shambling mound of deadly earth, I would just give up.
Okay, all right. So they're going to roll their 2d20s. They get +2 to
Okay.
attack and power against the Swamp Mother. I can't imagine this going well for them. Okay, so they got a 14.
Does not hit.
Does not hit. Okay, so they have used their free activation at the beginning of the combat for the Territon levies, and they did
poke
not
them
successfully
out.
hit. Do what?
To poke them out.
Yeah. So they rush up to this, and the Swamp Mother is a single massive shambling mound. So it's basically this huge pile. It probably looks like. Maybe you guys like covered it over with straw. So they rush in to the barn, hoping to find sort of like a place to like venture out from, and then opening its mouth from underneath the straw is this massive creeping just vines with like dead animal bones in it. This huge rotting mass of vegetation, and they absolutely do not successfully attack. That brings us to Roz. Also on you guys' initiative, all of your units will activate on your initiative. So you'll be able to do whatever your units can do with all of them, and then it'll move to the next person.
So for Roz, Roz is going to issue her orders to Solomon's soldiers to guard the rear against any attacks.
Okay.
The Hisker's band, however, is going to strike up a jaunty tune and wade into battle.
Excellent.
Moving forward, we're going to make an attack roll. That is a 12 plus 4. That is a 16 to hit. Hits.
That hits. Let's go over here. Jackson's infantry has a 12 defense.
Okay, and then the power test was a 19 plus 4 is 23.
Hits.
Hits. And because they're fighting a unit of a lower tier and they are veterans of a single battle, they do an additional damage. So Saxton's infantry now has to make a DC 13 morale test or suffer an additional casualty from becoming
Okay, so they get a
diminished.
D20 plus 1 on that, except they're adaptable.
So that's it with advantage.
Yeah, so we'll just have them roll 2 D20s. They get a +1 to this roll. The 19 plus 1 is
They make
20.
it.
Will beat that roll. So they are
So
not
they're down to 3.
but they are diminished, which
Correct.
is what did we do for diminished? Yellow,
I think so, yeah. Yellow for diminished, red for broken.
and then X for dead. Yeah,
Yes.
or for not coming back.
And I think green or orange for rally.
Yeah. Okay, so Saxton's infantry takes a big hit right off the bat as the Hisker's band, blowing vuvuzelas and yowling like cats in heat, rush into the battlefield, slamming into these unprepared infantrymen from Bedegar. Shanty, you are up next.
All right. Cool. So the Swamp Mother is going to retaliate.
Okay.
And let's see. So we're going to roll our 2. Okay. So she got a nat 1
Okay.
on. Yeah.
So that's a 1
how do we-
on the. Well, so what do we do for crits? Because a nat 1 on your attack test.
So there
I don't
are
think
no
there are no
critical failures.
Yeah.
But a
Okay.
nat 1 is a failure, likely, unless you have like a plus 14 to your attack.
Yeah,
I don't
which
think
you don't.
I do not. I have a +6.
Nothing in this battle has anything quite that.
Unfortunately, that is a failed attack test.
Okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
And then you
So-
have. Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay. So I guess what do
You
now?
have.
Do I just
So.
move on to my next unit?
Yeah. So your Swamp Mother tried to
Right.
attack and didn't succeed. The Territon levies were too scared and rushed the hell back out of that barn. And that brings the Graversford levies into play.
Okay, cool. So the Gravesford levies are going to go ahead and march forward 1. Do I have to do anything for that, or can I just move?
Nope, you can just move right up.
Yep. Travel
Right.
up.
I just it's been a minute, so I just want to double check.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Then, cool. And then they are going to attack the Territon levies.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh ho! That is a
That
nat
is a nat
20.
Okay.
So here's what I'd like you to do: roll 1 more d20.
Rad.
that will be your power test with advantage. So we'll take the 14 and the other roll that you do, and whichever is higher, that'll be your power test.
Cool. Okay, 14.
So,
Okay.
yeah. Which, if you
let's
have
see.
any bonuses, should do it.
I do. So it's a 20 not nat then, because they get +6 to their power tests, right?
So,
Am I reading
Terrans and
that right?
Levies, yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Terrans
cool.
and Levies will take 1 damage from the attack test,
Okay.
1 damage from the power test, and are reduced to 4 casualties.
Okay. Also, real quick, on making that attack test with your Territon... Also, I gave all the Territon levies the wrong... I gave them not the pitchfork, I gave them
It's
the infantry
fine.
thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Shanty, if you would make an insight
Yes.
check for me, please.
Okie dokie. Pull up the sheet and do the thing.
We're family, we shouldn't be fighting.
25.
Oh, that's a nat 20!
Okay. So Shanty, as you
If we get
and
3 nat 20s in a row, do we just win?
Yeah, do the angels come back?
Right, I wish. Okay, so yeah, on that nat 20, as you examine this, like you're up at the church on the hill nearby, and you're receiving kind of word back. It's big and chaotic, but like there are runners coming back and forth with messages from the front and things like that. What you see is that all of those Territon levies do not want to be here. Right, like these are, and I think Gear and Oren clock this, and bring it to your attention as well, and all of the heroes there by proxy. You guys may be able to find ways to like peel off those Territon levies, outside of just like murdering all of them. Like you're in a fight, and what you can kind of tell is they're looking at these Knoll units, although 2 of the Knoll units are no longer there. They seem to be like super afraid of those guys, but they also don't really want to be fighting you. So they're like in a pretty crummy situation here. But you guys can basically tell that the Territon levies are not like solid units, if that makes sense. Like there may be ways to intimidate or convince them to either like just flee or maybe even flip sides, like just, I don't know that you've already done your action with this unit, but that nat 20 for sure clues you guys into like, there may be some way to alter the trajectory of this battle even farther involving those levies.
Okay. Do I have a way to convey that to the rest of the party?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, because I think you guys are at the command center at the church, and like runners are bringing messages or people are waving flags. You have some kind of communications system set up with your units, as do your opponents, right, to relay any kind of on-the-fly tactical information that needs to happen. And so, yeah, that is made aware to you, and then you have an easy way that you can make it aware to everybody.
Okay, cool. I'll just go ahead and say that I've let everyone know however that needs to happen.
Okay. Now... Okay. So I think when the Hiskers band moves up, that exposes the crew.
That will expose the crew, yes.
And the Swamp Mother.
Correct.
On each side. Okay. I'm going to try to keep track of that. And we are unexposing Territon levies. They're no longer exposed. Okay. The reason I need to know that is because it is Underling 2's chance to go with the cavalry. The cavalry... both the units of Saxton's cavalry... I think they're going to attack Solomon's soldiers in the rear, both of them. So let me find their bonuses real quick. Where are you? Saxton's cavalry, come here. What do you got? Yeah, +3 to attack, +3 to power. So...
Solomon, who is observing this... let's see, 13. That's probably going to hit.
Yeah, so 13 plus 3 is 16 on Solomon's soldiers.
I'd like to use my reaction is set for charge.
Okay.
DC 13 command test. So that is 11 plus 213, just makes it. So
Okay.
Solomon's soldiers will take a casualty from the hit, but deal 1 back
Okay.
in kind.
All right,
And
and so we'll just do that.
They
for
will
this guy.
raise a banner to Soren.
Soren, standing at the command center, sees it and issues his order to the Lancers to sweep in and flank the charging cavalry.
Okay.
Using the maneuver, Lancers flank them.
Okay. What is the language of that? Because I want to know if I need to resolve this whole attack test first, or if
Let's
it
resolve the
interrupts.
attack test
Okay.
first. Yeah.
So they got a 13 plus whatever, that hit. I went ahead and rolled the other person's attack test. We'll deal with that later, but they did get a nat 20 on that. We'll just sort of keep that on deck for the next thing. So they are now rolling their power test. Their power test was 11 plus 3 is 14. Does that beat toughness?
14 does hit, so
Okay.
I'll take 2 diminished. I have to do a DC 13 morale test. That passes. Doesn't take
Okay.
additional casualty.
Okay. So now let's go ahead and resolve the Lancers. Saxon's cavalry has already
We
taken
call
1 damage from
Ray.
Solomon's soldiers. Brace for charge. Now it is the Lancers' turn to respond.
Yep, make a free attack against whatever unit dealt a casualty to allied infantry or artillery.
Right. And that is the reaction, so that does use up that reaction until after the Lancers' turn.
Yep. And I roll 2d20, right?
Yep.
Yes.
That is going to be a 16 plus 4.
Okay, that will beat the attack test.
All right, and then I'm going to make a...
Well, that's the nat, and then the nat 1 is for your...
Is the power test.
Is
Right,
the
so a
power.
lot of these
Okay.
were rolling the 2 tests at the same time, unless you have advantage, in which case it's different, right?
Gotcha.
So the 1 is for the power test, so you don't succeed the power test,
You do deal an additional casualty.
but you
though.
do deal the additional casualty. So the Saxon's cavalry has taken 2 casualties. Now, Solomon Soldiers takes 1 more damage from the second unit of cavalry attacking it,
Gotcha.
and then it's got advantage on its power test.
So I don't get to do another reaction. What's the power test?
Power test has advantage because of the nat 20.
Oof.
Is only an 11.
So
Doesn't succeed
I'm
its
not-
power
It doesn't
test.
hit.
So I only deal the 1 casualty? Is
Correct.
that
Yeah,
so?
when you make a successful attack test, you automatically deal 1 casualty, and then the power test is to see, how solid of a hit it is, and you deal your
Gotcha.
card's damage, which for cavalry is
Okay.
usually 2. For most other units is a 1, except maybe the Blue Dragonflight does. So you'll deal 1 damage on the attack, and then if your power test is successful, you do another damage, except for cavalry, which will do 2 extra damage. But some cards have other special abilities. Okay,
Cool.
so that
Cool. I
is
just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
all good. Unit Underling 2 has
Rules.
run both cavalries. Silas is up.
Okay. So, first off, Orin's Rangers is going to attack this Saxton's infantry.
Okay.
So that should be 2d20s, and they're going to be using the dancing light ability. So if that doesn't proc unless this hits.
Okay.
Right.
So, okay. So this is 2d20. 15.
Definitely
It
hits.
Okay.
That hits.
Power test doesn't, but
That's good.
okay. So they get an additional attack, which is now at advantage. Orin's Rangers gets 2 attacks.
No, it only
Okay.
the dancing lights only works for other units that you applied the damage, but
Uh-huh.
a different unit gets to take advantage of it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Just making sure
Okay.
I understand. That's
But
fine.
Orange Rangers
However,
does get 2 attacks, so you
They
can
do,
make
yes.
another attack.
they're going to attack the same crew,
Okay.
the same infantry. That only comes out to an 8.
Does not hit.
Okay. Then the crew is going to step forward. Now they do get advantage on
Yes,
Correct.
this. Okay.
Not that they
They-
need it.
So do you want me to go ahead and just roll 3 d20s?
No, just roll 2, and then we'll
Yeah.
resolve
Okay.
the power test. Whenever you have advantage, and that's a good question, everybody. Whenever you have advantage on something, just still roll 2, so we don't get confused as to what's what.
So that would be like a 23.
Hits.
Yeah, for sure hits. So that's 1 more
and then
damage there.
do you want me to now do the power test?
Yes. Now I do have a quick question with dancing lights. Does that go away when they've been hit, like guiding
It
bolt, or
goes
does
at
it?
the end of your activation on
Okay.
that
Right.
unit.
Beautiful. All right. I just wanted to know when that stays or if it was persistent. Okay.
Okay. So
Power test. So go ahead and roll. I think you still get only
It's just
one
one
d20
Yeah.
plus
yeah,
whatever
it's a
your mod is
D20.
here.
So that would be a 13.
13 does
because
exceed.
So
That's
you
a
need to do a morale
14.
test. Is that right?
Yeah. So I take
Yep.
one damage,
You're
one
doing
more
that at
damage, and then I'm diminished. So I've got to make a morale test, which is
And
see.
that morale
20.
test has disadvantage.
Okay,
Correct.
but he has advantage from being human, so then
Adaptable,
that's
so
flat.
it's-
So 1d20 plus 1. A 9 does not do
fails.
it. One more off the top, and he is diminished.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay. Can I do anything else to them for a minute? No, but that's okay. So the Elven Thorns are going to attack Perdita. You said that the Unbreakable were going to charge the Crimson Guard. Is that correct?
Well, that is what I'm thinking. Depending on what happens when I get there, yes.
That's
Okay.
fine. So the Elven Thorns are going to hit the Crimson Guard. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Let her rip.
2d20 again. Shit. That's a. Oh, they get a +8. So that's actually a.
14. That makes
That
it.
exactly hits.
Oh, wait. Okay. Okay. So
Beautiful.
now the next unit that comes in also gets advantage, right?
So
Correct.
the dancing lights goes on them too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Alright.
technically, the Elven Thorns can attack the Saxons' infantry for it with advantage, but they cannot attack the Crimson Guard with advantage. I know
Okay.
that's dumb.
Just making sure. So hold on. So did we succeed the power test? I got an 18 plus.
18, yes.
Yes.
If you don't have negative, you succeeded. They take an additional casualty.
They
Okay.
take an additional casualty, and they are weakened, which means anything
have
they attack is
disadvantage,
at
right?
disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Uh,
What's good for weakened? We'll do this. They're like falling over.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Elf shot.
And these aren't like. Oh, I'm sorry. Make a. You need to make a DC 10 power test to be weakened. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Just to be above board, I want to make sure.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
look at them. I don't have them pulled up. Crimson Guard. Boop. Their power is +6, and they got to be to 10. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
There's hope.
Still rolling.
That's an 18. So they
Okay.
are not weakened.
Not weakened, but comes an additional attack on them
Okay.
from the Elven Thorns, so that would
Okay.
be 2 D20s.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Gotta figure out where to put all these units.
That hits.
that's like a 20 something crazy.
Yep. Okay. So
And-
wait, before you do your next thing,
They are
they are
diminished?
diminished. They've got to make a command test or morale test.
Yes.
They're
13.
human, so
They
they're
are going to have
2d20
advantage.
K1 plus 3. Yes.
They make it.
Okay. And then the power test was a 18.
Well, let's see. That hits.
Yes. So they do still take. They are diminished. They didn't take the additional casualty from diminishment, but they do take a casualty from your power test.
Okay. I think that's all I can do.
Okay, Perdita.
Yeah.
Oh God, pray for me. All right, I think that Perdita is going to start with the Unbreakables, and
Okay.
she is going to move forward and is going to attack the Crimson Guard.
Okay.
At advantage.
So, but I still roll 2d20.
Yes, that's correct.
All right, and that is +6.
+6. So
That'll hit.
So do I count the 12 as that then? And
Yes.
So that'll be
plus
18.
6 is 18 to hit.
Okay.
So that is one more casualty.
Yep.
Where does that put them? Do they have to
They've
stop
got
and do
one
something?
health left. One casualty.
Now
left.
roll one more d20 for your
I
power
go ahead
test.
and roll it. All right.
That'll also be +6.
That is a nat 20.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
So they're going to take, because the Unbreakable deal 2 damage, they're going to take 4 damage. Not that it matters, because they are broken.
They are broken.
And at this point, the Unbreakable can use their reaction to make a follow-up maneuver to move
Into the breach,
into
correct?
the breach. Yes.
Wow.
All right.
You need to
So-
make roll 2d20. You need to make a command test. You get +2, and it has to be at least an 8.
All right, wait a minute. Let's don't get ahead. Let's just do 2 d20s.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 14 and a 10.
That passes.
Okay.
The Unbreakable move forward, and until their next turn, they have +2 to their defense, making them have 18 defense.
Well, something weird. All right, there we go. Now, that is the Unbreakable. That is what I can do, but they have used their one and only defense.
Okay.
A reaction, but they have +2 to defense.
Okay.
All right. That's really cool.
Now
I'm
you
going to
can
write that
activate the
down.
old guard.
Yeah, let me put... There's got to be like a shield on here, right?
All
Yeah, they've
right.
got a little shield. Okay, so that lets us know that they have extra defense. Help me keep
Alright.
track of that. Okay.
I can attack anything that is up. Or I have to go for levies, or I can't do bowmen.
I
So
believe
can-
the only thing on their side that is currently exposed and a legal target are the bowmen or the levies in the rear guard.
not the Saxton's infantry that is already damaged.
Because it's in the reserve, it can't be
Thank you.
exposed
I think
until their
that the
vanguard
old
collapses.
guard takes advantage of going after the Saxton's bowmen since
Okay.
they're bowmen. Is that a good move?
Yes, absolutely.
Far as
Then
I know.
do 2 d20s attack. Oh, what did I do? Did I just do one?
Oh wait, hang
think
on.
that's just-
Wait, real quick. Infantry unit. No, never mind. Okay, everything's cool. I'm lost in your rolls.
I think you only rolled 1. Roll 1 more.
Well, before you even do that,
Well,
that's your attack
8
roll.
plus yeah, that's a 12.
That's true.
So that does beat their defense, which
That hits.
is 10.
Okay, so I thought I did 2 d20s, so now I'm going to do just 1 d20 now.
Yes.
And that
For your
is
power
a
test.
15 plus 3 is 18.
Okay.
Hits.
So that is
2 more damage.
3
and
damage.
They are diminished.
They are diminished. They've got to make their test, which is +1. 2d20 K1 plus 3 will give us 8.
That's a
no,
failure.
They fail. So they lose an additional casualty.
Gorgeous.
So as the horsemen come in and slam into the side of the charging bowmen who have been, it's almost like they wanted to attack from one side of the town that they thought would be, the best front, but because of the way your troops are positioned, it's totally thrown their formation out of alignment. So their bowmen are exposed right off the bat, and the old guard, the old hands of the old Bedegar cavalry, shouting cries to Elster and Egrid Bedegar for Edmund. Once again, they crash into this line of bowmen, dealing significant damage.
And I think they do, and I think they go as close to the Territon. They go past the Territon levies, and they are going to yell at them as they go by. They're going to be sure they hear for Edmund and Bedegar, we will rise again, if they're thinking they're a trad, what Shanti said.
I like the hustle. I don't think I'm going to allow, I think you actually have to interact with the levies, whether through an attack or giving up your action to
Right.
actually interact with them. But I do appreciate the narrative there. But I'm not going to grant a mechanical bonus on that just to possibly scaring them off. Okay, so that's the old guard. What else you got, Perdita? Oh, you already did the Unbreakable. You did the old guard. Anything else for you?
No, I think I'm done and I can take a rest.
Okay.
That is it.
Anna, you
Yeah.
guys are slamming into these folks.
Is lightning breath? Is that who can I target with that? Is it anybody or?
It's anyone that's next to the blue dragonflight. So if you want to,
Okay.
you might have to. So this is going to be the closest bad guy,
Yeah.
Okay.
and you would have to. You're going to have to move over or sort of like up to get close enough so that next turn you could do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can take what amounts to a dash action to move 2 squares instead of 1, basically.
Okay.
So you can either move up here and then over, and that sets you up for the next round to go after the levies.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Okay.
And then
And then you have the Gravesford levies here,
Yeah.
which honestly, they're on the weaker side. It might be best just to have them hang out so that cavalry can't sweep
No
around
problem.
behind us.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave them there.
Okay. Cool. That brings us to Underling 4, who is in charge of... Let's see. I think he's in charge of a bunch of their infantry. He's in charge of these levies, which can't really go anywhere useful. Well, can they? I think this group of levies is going to forced march over here, which takes them out of exposure. And then... Is there anybody else? This group of levies here... They don't have a lot of really good options. They are going to, I guess, attack the levies next to them because the Swamp Mother didn't go well last time. Because they didn't do any damage to that thing. So they are going to attack. They get a +2 to attack. And a +2 to power. They only rolled an 8 on their attack.
Does not hit.
They only rolled a 6 on their attack. At a 6, so it doesn't hit. So Gravesford levies take no damage. So this group of terrified peasants tries to rush over the Gravesford levies, and fails to mount any kind of successful attack against the much more heavily equipped Territon crew. That brings us to Soren.
Soren looks out over the battlefield and directs the Hounds of Dalrath to charge down on Saxon's bowman.
Okay, let her rip.
So that's going to be 2d20 there. That was only 1, but they have a +4 to attack.
Okay, so that is going to hit.
It is going to hit. And then they'll roll another one for... I'm assuming that Saxon's bowmen are human.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'll roll another d20. Fingers crossed. That's a 6 + 5.
Okay, that's going to hit. Their
that
toughness
hits.
is 8.
Hell
So
yeah.
they are broken. Or
Beautiful.
I forget what the actual term is, but they're knocked off the battlefield.
Broken. Yeah.
Okay.
So give them a nice red stamp and shuffle them off to the
and
side.
they're not exposed anymore. Take that off there. Okay.
Then Soren drops the Hound's banner, and raises the Lancer's banner, and has them charge the Territon levies in the back here.
Okay.
Looking to collapse the rear. Gonna roll another 2d20s.
Both are successful.
Hell yeah. So that succeeds on the power test, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Great. So as the
Awesome.
Lancers charge through, Soren raises the Hound's banner again, and Follow the Standard activates. The
Okay.
Hounds of Dalrath use their reaction to make another attack.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Before you do that, the Territon levies need to roll a morale test.
Yeah, so we're rolling a morale test. They have advantage because
Flat.
they're human. Oh, but they would have disadvantage from something? Or
Correct. From the Lancers.
Okay. And the levies have -2 to morale because they don't want to be here. They don't like this. It's bad. That is a 12.
That's a failure.
That's a
they
failure.
Needed a 13.
So they lose another, and they... Oh, nope. They're at 2 casualties. And they're broken.
All right.
So the
2d20 for the Hounds
Lancers
of Dalrath.
slam into a group of unsuspecting peasants, mowing them down as their screams and pitchforks are trodden beneath the hooves of the mighty beasts.
Beautiful. Soren
Okay.
looks out and says,
A shameful waste of life.
Okay, and then you're making another attack with a reaction because of another ability from your...
that would only be able to attack the unit that failed. Can use a reaction to immediately take attack
Yeah, you
against
can
the
attack.
target of the power test. So it would be the levies again.
Yeah, so you can attack them again,
Oh, cool. Then,
basically, right? Because they failed their morale. And
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can do a full attack with the Hounds of Dalrath on the Territon levies.
Brutal.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys are nasty.
That's a nat 20.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. So roll one more d20. You got a 19 on your power test. If you get a 20 on your power test, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're dead. They're dead. You killed them.
If it means anything, any unit diminished by a unit I control has disadvantage on their morale test.
Yeah, and so it would have had advantage. That's why I only rolled one d20.
Gotcha. That's another 19.
Okay.
They're broken.
Yep, they
Beautiful.
are down,
The rear
broken.
collapses.
The rear collapses.
Oh man, which means
So-
the Knoll Bone Bows, the Saxons Bowmen, and these Territon levies are now all exposed.
The center collapses. The center
There's a real
becomes
juicy
the rear. Let's see. Do I have a big... Let's make this... Hey, come on.
Let
So-
us make famous this village of Gravesford.
Let it earn its name.
Okay, so their rear has collapsed, exposing all of these guys. Exposing what is trapped. Serendipitous. Never mind. Design. Okay, so all of these guys are now exposed to cavalry.
6, 7, 8,
Okay.
9, 10.
That was Soren. Now it is Saxton's. Does he have anyone on the field? He doesn't right now. Yeah, he doesn't have anybody on the field.
Oh no!
Yeah, because you guys knocked his other guys out. Although they'll come back at the end of this round. Underling 3 is... who? Infantry? Okay. 2 units of Saxon's infantry, 3 units of Saxon's infantry are all Underling 3 controlled. So, Saxon's infantry in front of the Hisker's band is going to make an attack. So we'll go ahead and do that. We pull up Saxon's infantry. They have a +3 to attack. Uh, 9 plus 3 is 12. Does not hit the Hisker's band.
It does not hit.
Okay, Saxon's infantry is going after the crew.
Do me a favor, roll a d4 real quick.
Me?
Yes.
Okay, what am I rolling for?
If you roll a 1, it's bad for you. Just roll a straight d4.
Okay, so
Shit.
that's...
Okay, you're fine.
Okay. 2d20 for coming against the crew. 10 plus 3 is 13. Doesn't hit.
Does not hit.
Last one coming against... Ooh. I guess against the Unbreakable, which has even higher defense.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, 13
Does
plus
not
3
hit.
is 16. Does not hit. Okay.
Real shame. They got that
Saxton's
nat 20
infantry
on the
just...
power
They
test.
are in absolute disarray. They just cannot get their footing here. Underling 1, who are they in charge of? Bowman. Okay.
Did we just bum rush their strongest unit and just take them out immediately?
Well, their other units are going to pop back in now. Although I don't know where
Yeah.
their levies can deploy. There's not enough room. I guess they're going to have to hold in reserve. Okay. We're going to start with the Knoll Bone Bows. They're going to go first. They are going to... oh, God, they have point blank. All right, they're going to go after the
great.
Unbreakable. Because it's bad news for them if they don't. So, they get +6 to this roll. They've got to beat an 18 on the first die. 15
That
plus 6
hits.
does hit. But their power test fails. So the Unbreakables take 1 damage, but their power test fails, which
Can
sucks
you do that
because
for me, Mr. DM?
yes, I can.
Or thank you.
Okay. So that's the Bone Bows. God, I have so many units. Okay, next up. Oh, did they get 2 attacks? I gotta look.
Bombos get 2 attacks.
They get 2 attacks.
They're
So they're gonna do it
veterans,
again. Coming at the Unbreakable. Oh, this is gonna be a
Hits.
bad turn for the Unbreakable.
Yeah. Yikes.
Okay, so you take 1 more damage, putting you to 4.
Okay.
Then, and what's their damage? Their damage is only 1. Then they are successful on their power test, so you actually
They crit.
take 2 more damage, and they critted.
No.
Hang on, we gotta. Okay.
Okay.
So what is crit? Critting means 1 extra casualty here, right?
Critting means double whatever their damage is. So if their damage
Okay.
is 1, they will do 2 casualties.
But they have a point. I'm going to say it's this. These aren't separate because they have point blank. When this unit succeeds a power test as part of an attack, it inflicts an addition against an adjacent unit. It inflicts an additional casualty. So I'm going to say it's 3 more casualties to the unbreakable.
But then does my relentless come into play?
Probably.
Not only if you fail morale test, which you have to make.
Okay, so you're down to 1 casualty, and you need to make a morale test.
Swamp Mother.
So I
That's true.
so I roll 1d20.
Yes.
Don't forget about the Swamp Mother.
What about this? Oh well, can I use the swamp mother to take?
Suffers
whatever it
1
is?
or more casualties, you can move those casualties to the Swamp Mother instead. Yeah. So
Okay.
if you would rather not take the 3 damage from that hit, we can transfer that damage to the Swamp Mother.
Absolutely. I would love to do that. That's why you called out Swamp Mother, huh? But
Yeah.
I was trying to find D.
Okay.
Excellent save.
That is so
Alright.
cool. So the Knoll Bone Bows are fighting
My
against the Unbreakable. Point blank shot. They are about to unleash a massive ray of destruction right into the face of these charging orcs. And the Swamp Mother just sort of like emerges out of the ground. These vines pop up, take the arrows, and just like eat them and slink away. It does damage the Swamp Mother, but the Unbreakable are protected to fight another day. They would have been wiped off the board if you hadn't done that completely. You failed that morale test, they would have been
focused
gone.
on Relentless. I wasn't even thinking about.
Well, and
Swamp
Relentless
Mother.
might have done it too, but okay, next I have 1 more unit of Saxton's Bowman.
Are you
Fantastic save.
fixing Unbreakable? So where is? Does she still have 6? Is she still at full?
So
It's
wait,
at
what does
4.
Unbreakable do?
The relentless
Or the relentless,
ancestral
yeah.
trait for an orc unit lets it keep 1 casualty if it drops to 0.
Okay. So it's still at 4. Okay, nothing. Okay.
It's still at 4. You don't
I'm
have
at
to do a
4.
All right.
a
And
morale
then-
test. You're all good.
Okay, thank you.
Saxton's
Because I look
Bowman.
over and now I rolled a 3. I
God,
would've
what is
failed.
their move here? They have like no good targets.
Incredible save from Shanty.
Oh,
Thank you, Swamp
Happy to
10
Mother.
out
help.
of 10. Okay, these guys are in bad shape. They have no good options. The infantry's right next to them. No, they're actually a little bit protected. They're going to go for the Elven Thorns. I think that's the only sensible move for them.
Good luck.
Okay, that's a nat 20 on the attack
There's
test.
that 20.
So that's advantage on their power.
So it's advantage.
test.
They rolled a 7, so we're going to roll 1 more d20.
Oh, please, no.
For a 16, they deal 1 damage, so that is 2 damages to
the Elven Thorns.
the Elven Thorns. Oh, I have one more thing that I forgot about. Okay. All right, so real quick, the Unbreakable, because the Null Bombos are a heavy unit of artillery, and Saxton's crew have a thing called Patron's Curse. When any heavy or super heavy unit they command succeeds on a power test, which they did, the opposed unit that is the target of the test is disoriented until its next activation. I'm going to put what disoriented means in chat.
Disoriented basically means you can either attack or move, but not
Yeah.
both.
Okay.
So if you like kill the Null Bombos, you can't follow up is basically what it means. For disoriented, what am I going to do? I'm going to give them this this little fear looking thing. Okay. That brings us to the end of round 1. Before we start counting up units, a couple of
You
things
have
happen.
you have to have the reinforcements come back. Yeah.
Yeah. So, the Null Blood Swallows and the Territon Levies.
Everyone, the units that you command, add up the little ticks, the little Roman numeral lines. That's the first top left thing on their card, and keep that number in your head.
Okay. So. Oh, okay. I also forgot to have Saxton's Blood Fangs attack, which I'm going to do now because I absolutely have to. I'm very sorry that I forgot to do it before, but he should have gone earlier. So we're gonna have those Knoll Blood Fangs attack.
Well, they
are
got delayed though.
no, they're cavalry. The Blood Swallows. It's too many blood things. I know. I don't have control over that.
We delayed the cavalry. That was
We did.
our.
Oh,
gauntlet.
right. That's why. Okay,
yeah,
they've
yeah.
got the snail. Thank you so much. That's why I
Yep,
didn't
yep.
attack with them. Actually, it's not. I forgot about them, but it ended up being the right thing anyway. So, shh. Don't judge me. I have so many things to do. You guys just have one or two
Why we're
things
here.
apiece, and I have
You
all
have
this
so
shit.
many pieces. So
You
many.
should just let us win
No.
and forget.
And in
about
fact,
it.
not only am I not going to just let you win, but
What?
as okay, so let's go ahead and do the part where we count up the units because I don't think anyone wins at this point.
All right, everyone, type the number that you counted into the chat, and we'll add it all up.
And it's the Roman numeral on the upper left-hand side. Of
That
the
is
column.
correct. It's that first Roman numeral. So the unbreakable is 3, and the old guard would be 1. So for Perdita is 4.
I did it. I got there.
Great. So we have 6, 9, 13, 20, 25, 29 points for our side.
Okay, I believe.
I just counted it. Saxton only has 2. Don't even bother checking it. It's
Saxton would need
I'm at-
15
I'm at
in
15.
order to stay in
I'm
the
at
fight.
exactly 15.
Whoa.
Okay. However, as we end the fight, or as we come to the end of this first round, you all hear this sort of like strange warbling noise.
No,
You
we
feel
don't.
the air
No.
like shaking around
No.
you.
I don't hear anything, you guys.
And a portal opens up in the sky,
No, it does.
and a massive squid-like ship blasts through the portal. A Mind Flayer Nautiloid ship comes screeching into the prime material plane. This is an aerial unit, sort of think of this like a massive aircraft carrier of Mind Flayer bullshit, comes like sweeping in and screeching out over the battle. I am actually going to roll initiative for this on its own. Okay, so it has a 21.
Is it tier 5?
Yeah.
Super elite, super heavy. Okay, cool. So just a normal little thing.
Yeah, cool. Just, you know.
I reject the eldritch nonsense.
Well, here's the thing. We know he's allied with these beings because
I
you
know.
have pulled them out of people's heads.
Honestly,
know.
I was surprised that he only brought the army that he did. So this makes sense.
So,
Soren is deadpan
This
looking at the
thing-
sky and goes,
The true enemy shows their faces.
this thing screeches out, its tentacles writhing into space. Psionic blasts begin shooting down towards the battlefield. That is the end of round 1. Roz, this is an aerial unit.
So,
So-
how do we hit an aerial unit?
Aerial
Your-
units can only be targeted by artillery units.
Pretty much what I thought. Okay.
Or that you
However-
can set for charge against them like you can with cavalry.
If an aerial unit attacks one of our allied infantry units or levies, we can use the set for charge to potentially deal a single casualty to it in, recompense for the attack. Also, if it deals a casualty to a artillery or infantry unit,
I can go. for it."
Soren's lancers can flank them.
Oh, shit.
And I don't believe that aerial units are subject to the same exposed conditions as anyone else. They can attack anything on the field, right?
Correct. Aerial units can target any unit they wish.
Okay. So, Roz, you're up.
Does
This
the
thing comes
follower have
screeching
wings?
out of the sky.
Roz sees this happening, sees the portal and the Nautiloid emerging, and she says out loud to herself, just sort of thinking out loud, I wonder if that guy's in there.
Oh,
And
the guy from the
yeah,
Star Chamber?
still waiting for the portal, the guy to show up from the portal. But
Oh, that guy. Yeah, that's
through
right.
the Goldstone. Anyway, Hisker's band is going to attack Saxon's infantry.
Okay.
That's a lame joke from like 6 episodes ago. So that is an 18. That's gonna hit.
Yep.
I can't see their hit points, so I don't know if they're diminished or not.
They were already diminished. They had succeeded their morale test previously.
Great. Then that is an 11 plus 4 is 15. Also hits, which deals 2 damage because of veterans of a single battle.
All right, so they are also broken.
The Hisker's band is going to use follow-up maneuver.
Okay.
They succeed, and they are going to take this position.
Okay.
Solomon's soldiers will continue to brace for any charge.
Okay. That brings us to the Nautiloid. This thing comes screeching out of the sky.
Playing too much Baldur's Gate.
Listen, there is good justification for why this thing is here, okay? Okay, so the first thing that this thing is going to do, as it is deployed, actually, as a reaction to being deployed, it chooses a rank or a file. Let's look. It is going to choose...
I'm sorry, it chooses a rank or a file to do what?
Psychic Screech. Each enemy in that unit, rank or file must succeed to DC 13 morality or something. Okay. Which, I think he's going to pick this middle rank. Or this middle file. So I need Unbreakable, Dragonflight, Levies, Thorns, and Solomon Soldiers to all make a DC 13 morale test.
What is that the magic? Would my magic resistant advantage on power tests to resist battle magic?
I'm going to say yes. I think this qualifies as battle magic. The psychic screech of a mind flayer nautiloid searing overhead absolutely counts as battle
You
magic.
said command test?
Morale test. DC 13 morale test.
Question: do you have the harrowing trait on this nautiloid?
I do not.
Okay.
All right, so
Unbreakable passes.
I think so. I think it's 18.
Okay. I need Blue Dragonflight to make a morale test.
Okay, I just roll a d20.
Yes, and you'll add your morale, which is +5, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
6 plus 5 is... Oh, no, that's... Okay, that's somebody else.
That passes.
19 passes.
And then 1 more for the Gravesford, or 2 more for the Gravesford levies, Taylor.
Yeah, except they have, I think, -1 to morale. But you're rolling this with advantage, so...
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, come on.
14.
Come on. My thing is being weird.
Okay. While you're working on that, did anyone else roll and or fail?
I think I need to roll.
So Solomon's soldiers rolled a 7, so they
Natural
fail.
20.
Okay. Elven Thorns pass. Solomon's soldiers fail.
Yes.
And then I think Gravesford levies fail.
Yeah, I rolled a 5.
Oh, but you have advantage, so roll 1 more.
Oh, 14.
That's 14. That's what
Actually
you needed.
makes it. 14 minus 1 is 13 makes it. So the Gravesford levies and the Blue Dragonflight and the Elven Thorns and the Unbreakable all resist this like warbling psychic shriek of this giant squid ship flying overhead. But Solomon's soldiers, keeping time in the rear guard, take the hit.
The no-bobos actually get hit too, don't they?
It is only enemy units. They don't target their own unit.
Can Solomon Shoulders
Yeah.
use the Swamp Mother too for psychic damage?
I think we're gonna save that in case they take any more damage.
Yeah.
But would it work
Okay.
for psychic damage?
Yes.
Yes,
I think
any
it would.
casualties.
Cool.
Okay,
That's my question.
so that
Yeah.
happens, and then this thing is going to use a bonus action. This thing is nasty, guys. It's going to use a bonus action to Psionic Blast the Unbreakable. So you
what
need to
now?
make a DC 13 power test. Unbreakable.
Okay, none of my stuff works for that. Just
Great
You will
question.
add your
20.
power, which you get +6 to this roll.
okay. And this is 1d20.
Correct.
It's a 3 plus 6.
9. Okay, so
No.
taking the psionic blast, and allied units for the Nautiloid have advantage on attack tests against the Unbreakable until the end of the battle.
Ugh.
Does the Unbreakable take any casualties?
No, there's no casualties associated with that attack.
Until the end of the battle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Ooh.
What do we put on here? We'll put this.
But does the magic resistant not work against that also?
What does magic resistance say?
Oh, gives you advantage.
Advantage on power test to resist battle magic.
Yeah, absolutely would apply.
Yeah. Okay,
So I
you
get
get
to
plus
roll
6.
another
Roll it
D20?
again. Yep.
20, net 20.
Come on.
Oh, so much better. I rolled a 4.
Okay, so Unbreakable is hit with the psionic blast, and then this thing makes 2 attacks.
What?
It's a big nasty thing. Okay.
Making it on the unbreakable.
No,
So
actually,
Soren,
it's
start
not
praying.
going to make it on the Unbreakable. This thing is going to make an attack on the Hisker's Band.
Oh, no. Excuse band.
Okay. I think you can set for charge or something, right?
Well, so actually, opposed. Oh, that's opposed infantry, so that doesn't count.
Okay.
Yes, I will set for charge.
Okay. All right.
That's 13 plus
Make
that.
the command
will
test.
Do it.
Okay, so 12 plus 8 is 20 to hit, so that is going to hit on the attack. 18 plus 7 is 25. That is going to make the power test. It only does 1 damage on the power test.
Okay.
It has so much shit, I couldn't make it 2 damage at whack. Come on now. It's not infantry.
Roz is going
it does,
to.
hang on. It is considered super heavy, so it does have Patron's Curse. You have disorient. You are Hisker's Band is disoriented at the end of until the end of the next activation,
Okay.
which is this.
Roz is going to throw up a banner, and the Hisker's Band is going to signal to the Lancers.
Yep. Lancers are going to make their charge.
Okay.
Let us wet the blood here. Wet the ground here with the blood of abominations.
Let us wet the bed, my brothers.
Let us wet the bed.
The Hisker's call. Let us wet the bed.
That is a 17 plus 4 for the attack.
The
Hits.
Nautiloid has 16 defense,
16.
so that does hit.
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
so wait, you set the charge, so that did 1 damage.
So
And then
that's
this
7.
is doing 1 damage from the other thing.
Attack.
Okay.
6.
And then my toughness is only 5, so I wouldn't.
13.
13 does not.
So
This
it
has
would not
14
meet it.
toughness.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Um.
All right.
Yeah.
It's not invincible. You know? Okay, so that is the Nautiloid's turn. It came in like a big nasty bastard, dropping a bunch of shit, but that brings us to Shanty.
Okie dokie. So the Swamp Mother is going to go ahead and try to attack the levies in front of her
Okay.
again. Let's see. Boop. And boop. Oh, okay.
No,
so-
Swamp
Dang.
Mother.
Swamp
Them
Mother.
dice, y'all.
It's
I guess
okay,
don't
she
forget you have
doesn't-
advantage if you want to use it. You may not. You may want to save it, but you do have that, or you have your inspiration if you decide. You know.
Yeah. I think
I just
we're
don't want you to
gonna-
forget your stuff.
No, I appreciate it because I will. There's a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
But I think this
It's a
is
complicated
just a lost.
game, and we made it even more complicated.
Yeah, that's okay. I think this turn's just gonna be lost.
Okay.
But yeah. So instead, let's see. Because she hasn't moved. I think instead what she's gonna do is kind of like swell up a little bit if she can,
Okay.
and attempt to intimidate them. If that's the thing she can do.
Well, you've already failed your. I would say I'm going to say it's going to take an action to try and intimidate them.
Fair.
So
Okay.
trying to attack
Yeah.
means that you use that action, but your levies could try and convince them not to keep fighting.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I think that that's what they're gonna do. So it's the levy's turn now. So they're I think like one guy is going to just turn to the others in the Territon levies and say, listen, you're fighting a lump of mud and not able to do anything. And we have so much more like this that you're going to have to fight. You don't want to be here. Why don't you just join us?
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say, we'll just use Shanty's stats for this. I know it's kind of mixing the two sheets. Make a
That's cool.
persuasion check. I'm gonna give
Okay.
you advantage because they are terrified of the nautiloid,
Okay.
and they probably feel like it's gonna eat them when this is all said and done. So
Okie dokie. Okay.
that's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Yeah. Okay, I say that's going to work. What I'm going to do is make a morale test for them. We're only going to make it a DC 8, just to give it kind of 50-50 odds here. If they fail it, they are just going to flee the battle and leave. If they succeed, they will turncoat.
Okay. Turncoat, turncoat, turncoat.
Okay, I'm waiting for it to roll.
Turn around.
I don't know why it hasn't rolled.
Every now and then I get a little.
Oh.
There it goes. I don't know why it didn't roll before.
That's an
Exactly,
8,
made it.
exactly.
Wow.
What you needed.
Okay. So they turn coat, and I'm going to say that they
Hell yes.
are. I guess we'll put them under your control since you turned them.
Okie dokie.
They are basically identical to the Graversford levies in every. Actually, I'll just show you guys their sheet now that you have some of them. They're pretty much identical to the Gravesford levies, except they have way worse morale and command. They don't have those same martial advantages. They'll have whatever martial advantages you have instead.
Nature's boon, they gain 2 casualties.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Great.
Cool.
So they are replaced. So the swamp mother just sort of pulls out some like a little cornucopia of fruit that it had in itself, and they have a little mid-battle snack to regain their
Oh,
composure.
hooray. Love that for them.
Okay, and I'm going to
Little
say that
snack.
you can go ahead and activate them if you want to have them turn on Saxon's infantry.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, that's exactly what they're gonna do. So I guess we'll go ahead and roll our stuff here. Sorry, I realize I can do this a lot better.
All good.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they have a 9. Sorry,
Both of
actually,
those
no, they
hit.
don't. They have, yeah. Okay, sweet.
Both of those, so successful
Both
power
will hit.
attack and power. They take 2 casualties as the Territon levies turn their pitchforks on the infantry behind them.
Do they have any sort of like shock or anything?
I mean, I think Saxon's infantry is unhappy with this, but I don't know if it does any extra anything. It because like not if you think about the battle, not only did they lose a unit, you gained one. So I think anything else on top of that is like maybe
Yeah,
a
no,
little
that's
much.
fair.
But
That's fair.
I think
It
if
was
you
worth
want your
asking.
Gravesford, I'm sorry. I think if you want your Gravesford levies can also move up, if you want them.
That's
to.
true.
they could.
Oh, that's true. They didn't do anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they used their action to turncoat the Territon levies, but they can move up
Right.
to open up your front.
Sweet. All right. Well, then they will do that, and then I think that is my turn.
Okay.
Hell of a turn, though.
Underling 2.
Thanks, friend.
Who they have the cavalry. Is that all they have?
Orin, seeing his cousins in the Territon levies turn coat and join Gravesford, sheds a tear. It's beautiful to see cousins coming together.
Okay, so Saxton's cavalry are going to attack Solomon's soldiers. So they get 1d20 plus 3. Oh, I'm also not looking at... Hang on. Do I have anybody... No, I haven't yet. Okay. I got to remember the people I can
12
try and
does
bring
not
back.
hit.
12 does not hit. Okay. The second group is going to... Actually, I think they're going to attack...
Solomon's soldiers,
Yeah.
only a handful of men remaining, encircling their wounded friends and comrades, stave off an attack.
And then the other shoe falls. That is a successful attack roll on Solomon's
Swamp
soldiers.
Mother!
Okay, if you want.
It just glubs.
Okay, where's
Yes,
their...
hello.
And then, okay, so that is 1 damage from that. Then they got to roll their power test.
What's the Swamp Mother at now?
So if the Swamp Mother takes all that damage, it's going to be 3 more.
Okay. Let me go ahead and do the thing. That's it. She still has 4.
Okay, but you are going to need to make a morale test to see if she's diminished.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I just roll d20 for that?
D20, yep, and then we'll add 2.
Yep. It has to be an 11 or better.
Okay. Oh, geez, sorry. Oh,
Oof.
wait, but I didn't add the +2 though.
But that only gets you to 12.
It has
True.
to be 13.
You need 13. Okay, so the Swamp Mother's going to take
damn,
1
okay.
more casualty and be diminished, and we'll have 3 total left.
That's Swamp Mother.
A noble creature.
She's doing her best.
Okay, that is both of their cavalry. That brings us to Silas.
Okay. Do you guys think it's worth trying to shoot down the Nautiloid, or should we just focus on getting rid of as much on the land stuff as possible? Because we were very close to beating them. If we can we've already got another unit down. His total numbers at would up by 5, so 19, because down by 1. If we take out 2 or 3 targets on the field, the next round we can actually just win.
How many points are we off?
We needed them to be at 14 to win last time, and that's
They
if we
had
don't lose
15.
anybody
That's
else.
right. Yeah, if we don't lose a single unit this round, which it's a long round.
Yeah.
Or do you think I should just like?
Well, and they
focus
also have the
Nautiloid?
chance to like
Regain troops
units.
from.
Although they don't have
No,
any
no.
place to put them, so their rear
No.
collapsed and they can't reopen it. So
So
I guess those people can go into reserves. I don't know how that works. It may just
Don't
be
either,
blocked.
actually.
But if
Um,
we have an idea
I
that
can also
that thing is shooting in a straight line, something we should all think about is getting out of a straight line. I'm just
Yeah.
throwing that out there.
you're not wrong. Which I can do.
I tell you what, have Silas make an Arcana check for me.
Ooh.
How many casualties has the Nautiloid taken so far?
2.
It's down to 6.
It's down to 6.
Yeah, it's taken 2. It's down to 6.
So theoretically, if we hit with 2 artillery shots and it gets diminished, because it only has +1 morale.
19 on
Well,
19.
this is good.
Yeah, so I think with a 19 Arcana, you can tell after the 2 hits, like it's big and scary, but it's also the whole thing is mostly made of meat, and it does have a hard carapace in some places. I think you feel like, Silas, if you guys can diminish that thing, you might be able to ground it. Like to just knock it out, like to make it crash land. And then it would not be able to fly around and shit on you anymore.
Okay. Then I'm actually going to start with the Elven Thorns. And they're going to shoot the Nautiloid.
Okay.
So that's 2d20, and I get a +8 to the attack roll and a +5 to the power. So that's
Okay.
Very good. Yes.
That's pretty
yes.
good.
Okay. So they take the 1 from the attack roll.
It needs to make a DC 10 power test.
Okay. It has +7 power.
Oof.
Natural 1.
15.
Passes.
So it passes the power test.
Okay. That's all right.
But did you lose another one?
And then, yeah, it loses what? 1 more. Oh, it also has to make a morale test now.
Morale test.
But did I pass the power test? Because
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah. So the power test, you needed to beat a 14, did you? Yes.
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
rolled an 18.
So it takes 1 more. It's down to 4 out of its
Does that diminish
total
it?
8. That diminishes
It does.
So diminishing it is going to ground it. After one turn of it flying around, this thing is going to come screeching and is actually going to crash land here in your vanguard.
Oh, we gotta go. Blue Dragon Flight.
Okay.
Yeah, Inna, that is your game, son. Okay.
So then it's got to make its test, which is 1d20 plus 1. Nope. Okay, we'll just add 1 to this. Okay, it makes its morale test. It is diminished.
Ooh.
Okay, and then as it crash lands...
It also is dancing lighted.
It's dancing lighted.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
As it crash lands, in these two adjacent spots...
You wanted us to bring it down, you
Listen.
sneak.
Units, just hordes of those little mind killers start crawling out of the thing into the middle of your formation. However, it is still Silas's turn. So you have...
Oh my God.
That's so gross.
Yeah, it's bad. Just hordes of these little crab brains with like spinal cords attached to them just start slithering out of this giant squid ship.
What?
Okay, so it passed its morale test, so it's sitting at 4. 1 attack from Elven Thorns. What else you got for me, Silas?
Okay. So, does it seem like the Nautiloid itself can still do like that psychic stuff, or?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. All right. So just making sure. I am going to go ahead and use the Elven Thorns to attack this thing of Mind Killers. So that's 2d20s.
Okay, let her rip.
I'm burning chat inspiration
Okay.
for the attack roll. So that would be an 18.
Hits.
And then would it be the 15 on the first power test? Is that?
Yep, hits.
Yeah, we'll take that one.
Okay.
DC 10 power test from the Mind Killers.
Okay, so first off, it takes 1 from the attack, and then a DC power DC. Let's see, 1d20 plus. What are
It
mind
also
killers?
needs to make a morale test.
Yeah, I'll get there. Let's see, the mind killers. Where do I have them?
Get those things away from me. Ooh, gross.
It is making a, what did you say, morale power?
DC 10 power test, and then a DC 13 morale test.
It actually doesn't have a power, so I'm just going to use its attack bonus. Because it's stiff, works stiffly. That's a 1, so it failed. So
it is now weak.
It is weakened.
It has disadvantage on attacks.
Oh, that's great for you guys. These things do some ugly stuff if they get to you.
What?
Okay. So wait, that was the attack test, and then the power test is going to do one more.
Diminished.
They are diminished. So now they're going to make their. They
So
don't
many
have
things
bonuses to
happen.
this. Yeah, I know there's a lot. 19. They make their morale test.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's that. Okay. Now, Orin's Rangers are going to attack the same Mind Killers. No. Sorry, I take that back. The other Mind Killers.
Okay.
So that's an 18 to hit.
Hits.
And the power test is 8.
Okay, that does not.
That's fine. They still have to make a. No, I'm sorry. They don't have to. They
are lit up, though.
Okay.
But they are lit up.
So both of them are lit up, though, right?
Both of the Mind Killers are
Okay.
lit up, and so is the Nautiloid, actually.
Yeah, I got that one already.
Okay.
Okay.
The Orin Rangers are going to take their second shot.
Okay.
At the Nautiloid for advantage.
With advantage. Okay.
So that's the first 2d20s. Natural 20.
20.
Advantage on your power
Okay,
test.
So that's -1 there.
1 damage.
Okay. Advantage on the power test. That's
Two
2 18s.
Another damage.
Okay. So how's the Nautiloid's at like what? Like
2.
2.
Yeah.
I really hate that psychic shit. I have a dumb idea and I want to do it. Okay, so that's it for the Thorns. That's it for the Rangers. The crew are going to take a step to the left.
That's it.
And they are going to attack the Nautiloid at advantage.
Okay.
That's a 28 to hit with
That
an
hits.
8, like a 24 power test.
Okay,
Both hit.
Nautiloid is broken.
Okay. All right.
Yikes.
But I am. Hold on. Hold. Sorry. Into the breach. I'm walking that way. Okay.
Do you have to make a DC 8 command test with advantage? You
Oh.
get +3.
Yes. Sorry. You are correct. So that's a
Passes.
16.
Okay.
And they have +2 defense until the next activation.
That's correct. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm at 16 until the next activation.
Okay. Whew. All
I
right.
told you I had a lot of tabs open.
Perdita.
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
All right. Well, the first thing that Perdita is
Also,
going
we're
to
coming
do-
up on 10 o'clock, so whether we win or lose here, I think this is going to be the last round for this evening, and we'll pick up on the next session. I don't want to push anybody over. So,
Well, then
All right.
let's choose to
Perdita
win.
is going to start.
Let's choose to win.
okay, sorry. Go ahead, bonus mom. What now?
I'll start quickly. Perdita's going after the mind killers because they're just so nasty.
I don't.
This-
Okay. With
These
what?
are
Oh,
exposed.
they're in the reserve. I can't.
Yeah,
no,
they're
these
not
are
ex-
exposed.
No, they're not.
Oh, yeah.
They aren't
the
being
mind
protected.
killers on the
Oh, yeah,
reserve
because they don't
line?
have any. Well, no, they have somebody in this. How does that work in your opponent's?
They're exposed. They're on the edge, and they aren't being protected by another unit.
But things in the reserve in the center can't be exposed unless there's no front.
But that is their front. Their front is in our reserve.
Okay, sure. Yeah, all right, they're exposed. Fair enough.
Is that okay? So I
No, yeah, that's right. It is a little confusing how that works when they
2d20s.
start being in their own.
All right. So it's a 14,
It's
It's
and then it's 18
24.
plus 3, right?
Hits.
In the power test.
yeah. So they are broken.
You actually had advantage on the. Not that I guess it doesn't matter if they're broken now, but you had advantage on the attack roll if you wanted to
True.
see if you got a nat 20.
But yeah, I mean they're broken either way. So
Okay.
So we'll
Never
just
mind.
let that go. All right. And then it's a tough decision for. Okay, so we've gotten rid of some things. Do I want to try to take Saxton's infantry and get rid of it, or go after the knoll because it can hurt me?
I don't think the infantry are exposed, but anything in their back row is exposed.
This is the
Well,
unbreakable.
I'm talking unbreakable.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't know. The
So-
no bone boats don't have very high stats.
Have they taken any damage?
They have not.
No.
Okay.
But maybe I could.
But
do enough
they're
to
easy
break
to hit.
them.
They've only got 11 defense and toughness.
True.
I mean, but the other
so
guys only
the
have 12, so it's a
unbreakable
5%
is going
difference either
after
way.
The knoll bone bows, because if
Okay.
I would get rid of them, I would make.
Plus,
it to
they
the
also
back
drop
row.
2 attacks, and they have that point blank thing. They're a nastier thing.
All right,
deal with.
so 2d20s to attack
Okay, now,
them,
but
and I
real
got a
quick,
nat
Unbreakable
20.
has several things on it, right? What are the debuffs that we have on Unbreakable?
So the debuffs are the psionic thing that disorients it, which
Okay.
means
Only
can't
attack
attack
or
and
thing.
move.
Uh-huh.
But so that
Oh,
we're
I
fine
cannot
there.
attack?
And then,
Can't do both. You can't attack.
No, I'm
and
staying
move.
where I am. And
but I
going-
think the
Right.
Nautiloid gave it disadvantage. Let's see. No, allied units have advantage against it, so that did not. So yes, you got the nat 20. Sorry,
All right.
It's a lot of debuffs.
All
track.
right, I got the nat 20, but
So-
then I only rolled a 3.
But you have advantage
you
on the
roll
power
one
test
more.
because you got the nat 20. So the bone bows
So
take
one
1 damage
more.
off the top.
Okay, it's
Nice.
14 plus 6 is a dirty 20.
So they take
It's
another damage. And then do the
beautiful.
Unbreakable have anything else that makes them do more damage or no?
No, but they do 2 damage on a successful power attack.
Okay. So then this thing takes 1 more damage and has to make a DC 13 morale test.
Correct. And the unbreakable have 2
Okay.
attacks per activation.
Damn. Okay, so
That's a pass.
he passed the test. He's diminished. The Unbreakable have 1 more attack.
All right, so we do it again. We're still
Okay.
going after the knoll bone blows with their second attack. Okay, that's
Hits.
18. It hits, and then I
Okay.
have 11 plus 6 on the power, so I do
Hits.
1 more.
You fully wipe the bone bows off.
That's a 16.
So in one just absolute thrashing bloodshed, the Orc Unbreakables wipe the gnolls off the board.
All right, and I cannot move because of my being disoriented. Am I done with being disoriented now?
Disorient until the end of your next activation. Yes, you are done with the disorientation, which was this thing. Also, your shield, your extra defense goes away from into the breach. Although you could try and move into the breach again, I guess, if you want.
Yeah, do it.
Well, I
No,
can't
because
move
no,
now.
you can't because of the other
disoriented.
thing. Yeah.
Cannot move now.
Okay. All right, is that it for Perdita?
Well, I did good, huh?
Excellent.
Okay. God, I have so many units. I think that brings us to Enna.
Okay, I'm gonna start with the levies
Okay.
and move them this way, and then have them go after the mind killers.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
get advantage.
I get advantage.
You get advantage.
Sure do.
So your first 2d20s are you.
That's a
Okay.
12, I think, or a 10.
What's the attack bonus for the Gravesford levies?
I think it's +2.
+2.
Okay, so that is a miss from the Gravesford levies.
Oh no.
That's embarrassing.
A rip.
Okay. I guess I'll. I wanted to move the dragon guys here and then blast the infantry.
So I don't think you have an action. Unless the lightning breath is like a bonus action or something.
Yeah.
Because in order to move the two, you'll have to use your action to like dash, basically. Otherwise, you can only move one at a time.
Okay. Can I reverse that?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll just blast the mind killers then.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Good
So
choice, good
what
choice.
does the lightning
Kill it
breath
with
do?
fire.
Someone walk me through what I need
Choose
to
an
do. Here.
adjacent unit to target. I'm pretty sure that you worded it a little wrong, but from what I remember, what you wanted it to do was you choose something, and then units which are immediately adjacent to that all have to make a DC 14 power test. So it's like a splash damage thing.
Okay.
Or suffer 2 casualties.
Okay.
Oh, and the unit opposite. So I guess technically it's you choose a thing and the thing behind it also. So those two.
Okay.
So if you're going to aim it at the mind killers, you will also hit the crew, but I think the crew is at full tip-top shape. So
Hit me.
Okay.
Some of them were scumbags. It's okay.
Let's do it. Okay.
They are thieves.
So the blue dragonfly is a 6 size unit right now. So their DC is 14.
yes, DC 14.
So I got to make a DC 14 power test with the mind killers.
You sure do.
Okay. Okay. So they
Oh.
do make the save.
Ooh. You do still have another action, so you can choose to attack or move one space.
I'll try to attack them, I guess.
You
Okay.
get advantage on that too.
Let her rip. Also, the crew still needs to make that save as well.
Yes.
It's a power
I was
test.
waiting until she was
Okay. And the dragonflight have.
They have +8 to their attack.
16.
They have +6 to their attack. Or did I change that? Oh, they have +8 because they're buffed from something.
So is it 8 plus
What's
8?
what's their buff from?
It hits either way.
Oh, no, sorry. I guess that's their shock troop thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is +6. My bad.
Okay. So that would make it a 90, unless you want to spend inspiration to roll again on your attack.
No, she had
roll.
advantage on the attack. Remember? So
Oh, it's a
yeah.
+8. You're
it's
right.
a
God,
14.
I'm so wrong. Yeah, so that hits. There's so many rules, you guys.
You're
Okay.
doing great.
So
You're
it's
doing great.
diminished. So real quick, you diminish them. That means the blue dragonflight are buffed. They need to make a command test. They don't get any buffs to that. They fail. They take one more casualty, and then make your power test. Blue dragonflight.
Okay, just 1d20.
Yes. Damn, these guys didn't even.
That
Get it.
hits. That's a
yeah.
22.
All right. So they are also broken.
Smoked!
Mink.
Nice job. Okay,
Okay.
so the crew, just before we go on, the crew needs to make a morale or command. Which one was it?
Power, I think it actually is.
Power. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They're good at that. But it's only.
Okay, so they take 2 casualties.
Okay, that's fine. It's worth it to get those. Off the board.
Also,
Good job.
I don't know. You can choose not to use it right now, but I think Enna, you do have your Sailor Moon wand if you wanted to heal any of your group's units.
That's
to try
true.
to keep them on the board. Swamp Mother and Solomon Soldiers are looking in bad shape, but you can also hang on to that for later if you would prefer.
I think I'll Solomon Soldiers.
Okay. What is it, 1d4?
Good call.
Yeah, roll a d4 for us.
Come on, come on.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Look at that.
Excellent.
Okay,
Cool
so
beans.
first things first, Underling 4, do they have any? They do. They have
Thank you for
Territon
that.
Levies.
Got you.
Nautiloid is its own thing. Saxton. Okay, so the Territon Levies are going to try to regroup. Can they do that? Are levies eligible for that? I don't even...
Yes, they are.
Okay.
If their commander rallies them, they just
Okay.
have a negative.
So what am I trying to beat? A 13?
These, 13 with advantage because
Okay.
they're human.
2d20.
So
K1 minus
14
2.
or better. That does
That
it.
does it. So they come back with 1 casualty in the rear. Desperate
Ooh.
and sad. I know they've been broken, so they keep that. Okay. And then who all has Underling 4? So there's 1 unit of Territon Levies. That's under Shanty's control. So it's just this 1 unit. Oh my god. And their only choice is to rush into the Unbreakable. Oh no. Oh no.
You really want to rush into the breakables
Yeah,
if you're doing that.
Real quick, Perdita, make an intimidation check with advantage for me. Narratively,
Okay,
I have to do this. There's like...
And I do it from my character sheet.
Yes,
correct?
please, yes. Sorry.
And which one did you say?
Intimidation.
Oh, please, God, because I just don't want to hurt
Yeah, with
these
advantage.
people anymore. What? Intimidation. Where is it? There we are. With advantage?
Yep. 22.
Oh,
Nice.
Here's what I'm going to do with that 22.
Oh, I didn't mean
It's
to
fine.
roll it twice.
With that 22, we're going to take their nat 1 on reforming, and they're just going to... They rush back in, take 1 look at the Unbreakable, and just nope. And they are going to just flee and never return. There's no way, guys. Absolutely no way. Can you imagine that these peasants rush into this group of slavering orcs that just standing in the blood of the gnolls they just killed? No, there's no way. Okay.
Does Taylor need to leave us now? She had a special situation.
If it's just a couple minutes, it should be okay.
Okay. I mean, we're close to the end. We're probably close to this whole fight being over, honestly.
That's fine.
I think at the end of this round, you guys are going to win. So, Soren, you're up.
Soren is going to run the Hounds of Dalrath into these bowmen back here.
Okay.
That's a nat 20.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so first things first.
That's 5 damage.
They take 1 damage from the attack, then they take 4 damage, right, from the crit, and then they've got to make their morale test because they're diminished.
Oh my
And they have
goodness.
disadvantage on this, right?
Yeah, they do
But-
have disadvantage.
Yeah, so it's
But they
flat.
have advantage because they're humans. They get just a flat roll here.
They got to get a 12.
They do not.
They're
So-
broken.
They are broken.
Nice.
Nasty.
Heck yes.
Beautiful. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Then I'm gonna take the Lancers, and everyone else in the back is like full strength, right? That's in the rear.
Yes, none of the rest of those have taken. There's 2 groups of levies, which you can choose to try to persuade to just leave, and there's the Knoll Blood Swallows.
Would it take like my attack to try and persuade them?
Well, you're the last
the
person who
levies?
goes before their turn.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like, well, it depends on how many they rally, but still, I don't think there's any way. I'm going to let you try to dissuade both of them with 1 action.
Okay.
Because, I mean, it's all over but the bleeding here.
That is my... Let me look at my persuasion here. Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah.
Soren is going to booming voice over the field of battle with... Can we flavor it to where
he uses Word of Radiance, and it is like a divine energy washes over the field.
Yeah, go
of
for it.
just allies of abominations, surrender now or bleed with your masters. And I'm gonna roll that. That's a 17 flat, or 17 plus. That's a 13 plus 4.
Yeah, that's enough. 17. They flee.
And hell yeah. Then Soren just tells the Lancers to stand by.
Okay. That brings us to Saxton. Liz, look, I don't even want to go through the motions of trying to rally the rest of these guys. I think this is a rout. So at the end of round 2, we're gonna go ahead and call it there, folks. You are. There's no way they have enough people left. You have absolutely murdered them.
Beautiful.
So, hopefully I have everybody in the right spot. I do. Great. Yeah, so 2 bloody rounds of combat as your massive army of allies advance. Not even the Mind Flayers could save them. It's a total rout. And we will deal... So basically what's going to happen in the next fight, when we go next week, we will be fighting Saxton and his actual lieutenants in the church at Gravesford. And on round 2, you all will get your morale surge during that fight as well. So there we go. Thank you guys for that. Much more... That was like the most complicated warfare that we've done. So thank you all.
Do we get any bonuses for not losing a single unit?
You get 1,000,000 points. 1,000,000 points awarded to you guys.
Excellent.
Okay, we have to wrap this up quickly because some of us have to go. Real quick, we'll just run around. Everyone, please reintroduce yourselves. Remind us where you can find on the internet. Starting with Bonus Mom.
I'm Bonus Mom. I had a great time tonight. I'm everywhere on the internet. You can't get away from me. I'll see you again another day.
Wonderful. Kyla.
Hi, I'm Kyla, and I can be found on the internet under Kai2D2 in most places. And that's it.
Excellent. Jacob.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jacob. I came in late, but I'm super happy that I made it. You can't find me on the internet. Sometimes you can, but probably not. Super happy to be here. That's all I've got.
Wonderful. Jesse. Oh, I've got Jesse and Beast mixed up. Sorry, guys. I've got your faces in the wrong spot. It's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
I can
I'm
pretend to be
Jesse.
Jesse.
I played Silas the Sniper, otherwise known as Snilus. You can find me at Yimba D&D. You might be a D&D on YouTube at some point in the future. That's fun. Anyway.
Wonderful. We'll go back and pick up Beast.
Hi, I'm Beast. I played Raz Hiskers, the Orc Valor Bard. And you can find me on Bonus Mom's Tavern. And probably wherever this game is being played. It's so boring and I love it.
Excellent. And Anna.
Hi.
I mean, Taylor, you're a human, not a character. I'm sorry. It's bound to happen eventually, guys.
Too. I was like, oh shit, I am Anna. I'm Taylor. I play Anna. And yeah, I'm here on the internet. That's it. Okay, bye.
Right. Hi, everybody. I'm
Anna.
Pixel.
Taylor.
I am your Dungeon Master this evening. And your horde of Mind Flayers and Mind Killers. The Mind Killers didn't even get to attack. I just want to say really quickly, this super cool ability that if they attacked your unit, they would infest them and make them attack themselves to like kill the Mind Killers. It was gnarly, but they never got to do it because you guys are so sick.
You're sick.
I should have given them more health. Anyway, that all having been said, you can find me here at hammerandpixel.twitch.tv, and you can find me here at Ages of Einor. Obviously, you know that. We are going to really quickly go raid Ream Streams because they're like the only people I know that are live. Thank you guys. Peace out. Bye. Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rents asunder, sacrifice and battle.
but together they will write their own tale of glory rent asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. What was rent shall be restored. What was lost now shall be found. The price of